Chapter 589. Ning Fan sat on the agarwood chariot and chatted happily with the third elder along the way. The third elder was a dignified void fragmentation realm expert. Normally, he would not lower his status and chat with void refinement realm cultivators. However, Ning Fan was a high-grade 6th revolution pill refinement master. Thus, he naturally would not neglect him. His tone was very polite. Under the gaze of all the cultivators in the city, the agarwood chariot traveled all the way to Jishui Palace. On this day, all the cultivators in the city learned about Ning Fan's high-profile entrance into the city. Some of them recognized Ning Fan as the person wanted by the Vine Sovereign. All of them were shocked. No one expected that Ning Fan, who was wanted by the Vine Sovereign, would actually come to the Eastern Trees Sea and openly come to the Bamboo Palace. No one expected that Ning Fan, who was wanted by the Vine Sovereign, was actually a high-grade 6th revolution pill refinement master. Some Void Pierce Stage and Absolute Void Stage old monsters who came from the Western Forest Sea and the Northern Forest Sea secretly recognized Ning Fan's identity. Initially, they wanted to kill him and claim the reward from the Vine Sovereign. However, as soon as they found out about Ning Fan's identity as a high-grade 6th revolution pill refinement master and after seeing his absolute void chi, none of them actually dared to attack him openly. Some cultivators who came from the Han Sung country in the Eastern Tree Sea recognized Ning Fan as the super expert who single-handedly annihilated the 4 clans of the Han Sung clan. Thus, the news of Ning Fan single-handedly annihilating the 4 clans of the Snow Pine clan spread like wildfire in Jishui City. Many rumors speculated that Ning Fan's true strength was comparable to Guiyuan Taishu. As soon as those old monsters who wanted to assassinate Ning Fan and claim the reward heard that Ning Fan's strength was so terrifying, all of them gave up on the idea. Although the Vine Sovereign's reward was tempting, his life was even more precious. There was no need to offend an expert whose alchemy skills were the best in the tree world and whose combat strength was comparable to the origin returning realm for a mere reward. In Jishui Royal Palace, the Bamboo Sovereign's cold expression was no longer as cold as before. Now, he wore a rare smile and prepared a banquet to welcome Ning Fan. Other than old demon Fu Sang who was not in Jishui City, all the 7 Void Fragmentation Realm elders of the Bamboo Palace attended the banquet. If Ning Fan is just a low-grade 6th revolution pill refinement master, even though the Bamboo Sovereign would value him, he would not pay so much attention to him. However, Ning Fan's pill refinement mastery had already reached the high-grade 6th revolution. It was enough to be the best in the entire tree world. Even the Bamboo Sovereign did not dare to underestimate him. Among the 7 Void Fragmentation Realm elders in the Bamboo Palace, 4 of them expressed their intention to befriend Ning Fan. Only 3 Void Fragmentation Realm elders wore hostile expressions. The 6th elder was an old-fashioned cultivator of the Profound Gate. He cultivated the Tao of Tree God and rarely engaged in battles in his life. He hated devil cultivators who killed people like Scything Flax the most. Therefore, he disliked Ning Fan. The 4th elder was a cultivator at the first heavenly layer of the Void Fragmentation Realm. He was somewhat related to the Baili clan. Currently, each of the 8 Void Fragmentation Realm elders of the Bamboo Palace had 3 quotas. They could recommend Void Refinement Realm cultivators to participate in the selection of the successor of the 8th elder. Among the 3 people recommended by the 4th elder, one of them was Patriarch Baili. The 4th elder looked at Ning Fan with a hint of hostility in his eyes. However, due to Ning Fan's identity as a high-grade 6th revolution pill master, he did not make things difficult for him on the spot. Naturally, it was impossible for him to befriend Ning Fan. The Great Elder was a 3rd heavenly layer Void Fragmentation Realm cultivator. His eyes were also filled with hostility. When he was young, he had received some kindness from the previous leader of the Stone Tree clan. The Stone Tree clan was originally one of the 12 clans of the Cold Azure, but it was annihilated by Ning Fan. That was why the Great Elder was looking at Ning Fan with hostility. After the banquet ended, the Bamboo Sovereign summoned Ning Fan and promised him once again that if Ning Fan could cure Zhu Zhu, he would certainly give Ning Fan enough ancestral tree fruits to help him attain the 2nd grade rain intent. When Ning Fan left the main hall of the royal palace, it was already late at night. Currently, there were no other high-grade 6th Revolution pill masters in Jishui City other than Ning Fan. The bamboo sovereign decided to wait for another month. After he brings the other pill refinement grandmasters here, he would then order everyone to cure Zhu Zhu's illness. Ning Fan pondered inwardly. It seems like I can only stay in Jishui City for a month. After curing Zhu Zhu's illness 1 month later and obtaining the ancestral tree fruits as a reward, he could then leave the Eastern Tree Sea. However, where should I go after that? Should I obey the Rain Sovereign's order and head to the Fire Tree Clan in the Western Tree Sea? Ning Fan shook his head slightly. He had already offended the Vine Sovereign. It would be extremely dangerous for him to head to the Western Tree Sea now. Perhaps the Zhurong spring water of the Fire Tree Clan was a great opportunity. However, this opportunity was located in a dangerous place. It was better for him not to take it. Should I head to the Southern Tree Sea and meet the Snow Willow Devil Sovereign? After pondering for a while, Ning Fan still shook his head. He and Lu Haoyue were just acquaintances. It was not necessary for him to head to the Southern Tree Sea. Then, should I stay in the tree world for a while longer or return to the rain world directly after obtaining the ancestral tree fruit? Ning Fan sighed softly. He had just entered Jishui City, but he was already regarded as an enemy by 3 void fragmentation realm experts from the Bamboo Palace. The Eastern Tree Sea was also not a place for him to stay for long. Whether it's staying in the tree world or returning to the rain world, the most important thing now is to find a way to attain the first grade rain intent. I wonder when my rain intent can attain the first grade rain intent. Ning Fan walked alone on the long street under the night sky. Unknowingly, there were no longer any cultivators around him. He suddenly stopped walking. His eyes turned solemn. With a flick of his sleeve, a strong gust of wind blew in all directions. The long street in front of him turned into illusions and shattered into pieces. This is the space of a heavenly dwelling, Ning Fan said with a frown. A moment ago, he was still walking on the long street of Jishui City. In the next moment, he was already taken into this heavenly dwelling space. Without a doubt, someone in Jishui City was plotting against him. Even though they knew that his pill refinement mastery was the best in the tree world, they still dared to plot against him. Inside the heavenly dwelling space, a blood-red light suddenly shone. The figures of 2 elderly men who were riding tigers appeared. Both of them were absolute void stage cultivators. The eyes of the 2 elderly men that were looking at Ning Fan were blank and blank. However, they contained sharp killing intent. They were assassins sent by the Bai Li clan. They intended to assassinate Ning Fan on his way out of Jishui Palace. Behind the 2 elderly men, there were 7 Void Inquiry Stage and Void Pierce Stage assassins. All of them were riding blood tigers with cold eyes. The 7 Void Inquiry Stage and Void Pierce Stage assassins took out their blood banners at the same time. As they waved them, blood-red light filled the sky. Just like the assassination attempt by the Bai Li clan that day, the life force of the 7 assassins was drained and they began to age rapidly. As for the 2 absolute void stage old men, they used a secret technique to absorb the blood-red light. Within a short period of time, their chi rose to the origin returning absolute void stage. Kill! All of the assassins rode on their blood tigers and charged at Ning Fan from all directions. Ning Fan was very sure that they were the assassins of the Bai Li clan without a doubt. Thus, there was no need for him to show any mercy. He took a step forward and turned into black robes. He raised his hand and extracted their souls. His sovereign chi rose and golden light shone brightly. At the same time, he activated the 3rd heavenly layer of the void fragmentation realm and began a massacre in the heavenly dwelling. After 10 breaths of time, there was no one else in the heavenly dwelling other than Ning Fan. The air was filled with a thick smell of blood. Among the 9 assassins of the Bai Li clan, Ning Fan had directly killed 8 of them. What was strange was that none of them had primordial spirits or demon souls in their bodies. Ning Fan did not manage to capture any of their primordial spirits or demon souls. Thus, he was unable to search their memories, Fortunately, he deliberately spared a void inquiry stage assassin and captured him alive. He tried to use the soul-searching technique on this person to find out why the Bailey clan was hostile towards him and what their intentions were. However, as soon as he performed the soul-searching technique, the assassin's sea of consciousness suddenly exploded along with his entire body. I can't search his soul, huh? Ning Fan remained silent. The cultivators of the Bailey clan did not have primordial spirits or demon souls. This was rather strange. As the ninth assassin exploded, all 9 of them died. 9 rays of blood-red light suddenly appeared in the silent sky and condensed into a dual invitation. There was only one word on the dual invitation. Die. It was the 3rd dual invitation sent by the clan leader of the Bailey clan. Ning Fan's eyes flashed with a strange expression. This clan leader of the Bailey clan actually sent him a 3rd dual invitation. The clan leader of the Bailey clan had planted 9 rays of blood-red light in the bodies of the 9 assassins he sent this time. Once the 9 assassins die, the blood-red light would condense into a dual invitation. Could it be that the clan leader of the Bailey clan predicted that the assassination this time would fail? Is that why he sent the 3rd dual invitation to Ning Fan through the deaths of the 9 assassins? Since he knew that the assassination would fail, why did he still send these assassins to their deaths? Wait a minute. Sending them to their deaths. Ning Fan seemed to have thought of something. He patted his storage pouch and took out the first 2 dual invitations. He looked at the word, die, on the 3 dual invitations and fell into deep thought. Every single one of the 3 dual invitations was illogical. At first, Ning Fan could not understand why the clan leader of the Bailey clan would send a dual invitation every time he sent someone to assassinate him. Only now did he vaguely understand the clan leader's intention. The 3 dual invitations were filled with the clan leader's undying killing intent that was as deep as the ocean. At first, Ning Fan's habitual thought was that the clan leader of the Bailey clan wanted to kill him by sending 3 dual invitations consecutively. That was why he was confused by the clan leader's contradictory behavior. The clan leader clearly knew that the assassins he sent would not be able to kill Ning Fan, but he still sent them to kill him. Even though the clan leader knew that the actions of sending dual invitations were extremely arrogant and brainless, he still sent them again and again. Now, he finally understood. The undying killing intent in the dual invitations was not directed at Ning Fan but the members of the Bailey clan. The word, die, was not meant for Ning Fan but for the members of the Bailey clan. It wanted every member of the Bailey clan who came to assassinate Ning Fan to die in his hands. The reason why the clan leader sent 3 dual invitations to Ning Fan was because he wanted Ning Fan to kill all the members of the Bailey clan. Based on this line of thought, the strange behavior of the clan leader of the Bailey clan in sending the dual invitations could be explained clearly. However, what was the clan leader's goal? As the leader of the clan, why would he send his clansmen to their deaths on purpose? Ning Fan frowned. He could not help but feel that the clan leader's actions revealed a strong and strange aura. A thought flashed across his mind. He suddenly recalled that the Bailey clan's assassins did not have primordial spirits or demon souls in their bodies. These 2 matters were equally strange. However, they seemed to be related in some way. Ning Fan kept thinking about it, but he felt that his thoughts were getting more and more complicated. He could not understand why the clan leader of the Bailey clan would send his clansmen to their deaths. What exactly is the clan leader of the Bailey clan planning? What benefits does it bring him by sending his clansmen to their deaths? Could it be that even though this person is the clan leader of the Bailey clan, he has a deep grudge against the clan? Ning Fan lifted his palm and crushed the heavenly dwelling he was in, returning to the long street of Jishui City in the outside world. On the long street, cultivators were passing by. None of them noticed that Ning Fan had been kept into the heavenly dwelling and started a massacre inside. While walking on the long street, he felt a hint of uneasiness for the first time since he entered the tree world. He stopped in his tracks and took out the tortoiseshell. He wanted to use the 3 dual invitations for divination to find out a trace of the heavenly secret. With Ning Fan's divination technique, it was impossible for him to find out the true motive of the clan leader of the Bailey clan. What he wanted to divine was merely good or bad luck. He wanted to know if the confrontation with the Bailey clan was good or bad. After a series of divination, the tortoiseshell suddenly cracked. It was a sign of great misfortune. Ning Fan's eyes suddenly turned cold. The Bailey clan was just a void refinement realm force after all. On the other hand, Ning Fan had void fragmentation realm spiritual puppets and helpers with him. Why would there be a sign of great misfortune when he confronts the Bailey clan? Ning Fan asked himself. Even if he was no match for the bamboo sovereign, he would most likely be able to escape with his life. Could it be that behind the strange behavior of the clan leader of the Bailey clan, there is a great danger that is even scarier than the bamboo sovereign? While Ning Fan was lost in his thoughts, an arrogant young lady's voice suddenly resounded in the night sky on the long street. That arrogant voice made Ning Fan's eyes turn slightly cold. Humph. So you are Liu Bei of the Nether Luo clan. You have an absolute void stage cultivation base and a high-grade 6th revolution pill refinement realm. You are really amazing. You even dared to directly reject my great-grandfather who lowered his status and personally asked you to help our Fu Sang clan. Do you actually look down on our Fu Sang clan, or do you know that you are too weak to be selected as the 8th elder of the Bamboo Palace? Or perhaps, you are afraid of the Bailey clan and you don't dare to confront the king of the Bailey clan. What a coward. Ning Fan glanced at her from the corner of his eyes. The one who spoke was a young lady in red robes. She looked like a 15 or 16-year-old girl. She had a beautiful appearance, but there was a hint of arrogance in her eyes that was not concealed at all. The young lady in red robes was just a nascent soul realm cultivator. However, the 4 female guards behind her were all at the divine transformation realm. As soon as the 4 female guards saw that their young mistress actually dared to speak rudely to Ning Fan, their faces turned pale. They stood in front of the young lady in red robes and apologized to Ning Fan. Master Liu, please forgive us. Our young mistress is young and ignorant. She spoke rudely, but she definitely meant no harm. Master, please don't lower yourself to the same level as us juniors. Our young mistress is Tang Yuan, the daughter of the clan leader of the Fu Sang clan, Tang Xiong. I heard that Master Liu has a good relationship with the old ancestor and clan leader of my clan. Please don't blame our young mistress for her indiscreet remarks for the sake of our old ancestor and clan leader. This young lady in red robes was the little princess of the Fu Sang clan. Today, the selection of the 8th elder's successor was about to begin. As one of the 3 candidates recommended by old demon Fu Sang, Tang Xiong had already rushed to the eastern forest sea from the Gomang country in the northern forest sea. This young lady in red robes was called Tang Yuan. She was Tang Xiong's daughter. It had been a few days since she came to Jishui City with her father. She had heard from her father that Ning Fan had refused to help the Fu Sang clan and she was extremely dissatisfied. She had the protection of a void fragmentation realm old monster. Thus, she had always been arrogant and willful. Even though her cultivation base was at the nascent soul realm, she dared to talk back to void refinement realm old monsters without the slightest bit of fear. She was not afraid of Ning Fan and even dared to speak rudely to him. However, the female guards behind her could sense how terrifying Ning Fan was. It was as if a single glance from Ning Fan was enough to shatter all of their souls and kill them all. When the 4 female guards faced Ning Fan, they felt a heavy pressure from him. That pressure was not inferior to that of the old demon Fu Sang. Moreover, the 4 female guards also knew that Ning Fan was a high-grade 6th revolution pill refinement master. The 4 female guards were not arrogant and willful like Tang Yuan. They knew that Ning Fan was not someone that the declining Fu Sang clan could afford to offend. Therefore, the moment Tang Yuan insulted Ning Fan, the 4 female guards pleaded for her at the same time. Ning Fan's eyes flashed and he retracted the coldness in his eyes. If this lady was some other blind cultivator who came looking for trouble with him, he would not mind teaching her a lesson. However, this lady was the little princess of the Fu Sang clan. More or less, Ning Fan owed the Fu Sang clan a favor that he had yet to repay. Thus, he was unwilling to attack her. The corner of his lips curled up slightly and he said with a mocking smile. Your name is very delicious. Tang Yuan, huh? I haven't eaten it for a long time. It was not pleasant to hear but delicious. He did not attack her. He just teased her verbally as a counterattack. That was all. After that, Ning Fan walked past the 5 women in front of him and walked towards the end of the long street. Tang Yuan's pretty face bloomed like a peach blossom. She was extremely embarrassed and angry. Her name was obviously Tang Yuan and not Tang Yuan. Ning Fan was really bold. He actually dared to make fun of her name. Liu Bei, you coward. You don't dare to accept my grandfather's request. You don't dare to fight for the position of the 8th elder. You don't dare to fight against the clan leader of the Baili clan. I look down on you. Ning Fan suddenly stopped walking and turned around with a cold look. All of a sudden, the 4 female guards wanted to cry but they had no tears. They secretly blamed their young mistress for being reckless. He didn't want to argue with you and let you go once. Yet, you actually went to look for trouble with him. You're just courting death. Now, your father, Tang Xiong, has something to deal with and he's not in Jishui City. Even though your grandfather, old demon Fu Sang, is a void fragmentation realm old monster, he is far away in the northern forest sea. It's even more impossible for him to come and protect you. If you provoke him and anger him, who will be able to protect your little life? Master Lu, please calm down. The 4 female guards still wanted to plead for mercy. However, Ning Fan shook his head, indicating that he did not intend to blame them. However, his tone no longer had the intention to tease them. Instead, it began to become cold. His cold words were like the icy blades from the netherworld. When they entered Tang Yuan's ears, her delicate body shivered and she looked at Ning Fan with a little fear. I just said a few words to you. What do you want to do to me? Don't tell me you want to lower yourself to the same level as a little girl like me. Aren't you a great hero? If you attack me, all the cultivators in the tree world will laugh at you. Just a moment ago, Tang Yuan was still calling Ning Fan a coward. Now that she realized that Ning Fan was not someone she could mess with, she changed her tone and called him a great hero. This woman really had no moral principles at all. She immediately admitted defeat when the situation turned bad. Tell Senior Fu Sang to be careful of Bai Li. Ning Fan gave Tang Yuan and the other female guards a final warning. Then, his figure flashed and disappeared. Even if it was for the sake of the Fu Sang clan, Ning Fan would not be calculative with a silly little girl. He owed the Fu Sang clan a favor. Therefore, he gave them a warning. There was a huge danger hidden behind the Baili clan. Even Ning Fan was very wary of this danger and he was not willing to touch it recklessly. Perhaps it was an illusion, but Ning Fan faintly felt that the air of the eastern forest sea was filled with a sense of tranquility as if a storm was coming. Perhaps there was a huge danger hidden behind the Baili clan, and this danger might possibly set off a catastrophe in the entire eastern forest sea. Perhaps everything was just an illusion. However, I hope that the sense of danger that the Baili clan gave me is just an illusion. Chapter 590. Ning Fan turned into a ray of traveling light and disappeared into the dim night sky. When he reappeared, he was already outside a golden palace in Jishui City. This was a palace for cultivators who entered the city to rest. Ning Fan paid the immortal jades and chose a room to rest in. He had already reminded the Fusang tribe to be careful of the Baili tribe. He had done his part, but he was not willing to get involved in the feud between the Fusang tribe and the Baili tribe. He had a lot of fear towards the Baili clan. That fear was all because of the ominous omen he had foreseen. Ning Fan sat alone in his room and pondered in silence. After a long time, he suddenly formed a hand seal with all 10 of his fingers. His entire body was surrounded by the heavenly green rain intent of the 3rd grade. Outside the window was a rustling bamboo forest. A cool night breeze brushed past. As Ning Fan dispersed the rain intent, the night sky outside the window suddenly began to drizzle. Ning Fan was using the heavenly peering rain technique to spy on the outside world. He tried to fuse the 3 days of rain with his divine sense to cover the entire my country and secretly spy on the Baili tribe. Ning Fan would not be able to feel at ease if he did not find out the source of that ominous sign. The curtain of rain gradually spread until it covered all of Jishui City. Then, with Jishui City as the center, it began to drizzle far away. Gradually, the area within 70 million miles was covered in a fine drizzle. Many cultivators of Jishui City felt strange. Jishui City has an array light to block the wind and rain, so why would it rain for no reason? No one knew that Ning Fan was using the heaven-peering rain technique. The rain was silent and the technique did not leave any trace. At this moment, the intertwining black clouds in the night sky were his eyes. At this moment, the drizzle that seemed to be woven continuously was his will. Ning Fan's spirit sense spread out in the night. Wherever the rain fell, it would be the place where his spirit sense took root. 1 million miles, 2 million miles, 10 million miles, 20 million miles, 70 million miles. Gradually, everything within a radius of 70 million li, from the mountains and rivers on the surface to the plants and insects on the ground, were all under the surveillance of Ning Fan's spirit sense. Even a cultivator at the first heavenly layer of the void fragmentation realm could only cover an area of 1 million li with his spirit sense. However, at this moment, Ning Fan's spirit sense had covered an area of 70 million li. The rain of the second day, the rain of the sun. Ning Fan changed his hand seal. Then, he performed the hand seal of the Yang Heaven Rain and made the Yang Heaven Rain and Haotian Rain merge together. Following the fusion of the two rain techniques, the dark clouds drifted into the distance, and the drizzle extended to a distance of 300 million miles. Lonely Sky's rain could allow his divine sense to cover an area of 70 million miles. The rain of two heavens could allow one's divine sense to cover an area of 300 million miles. 3 days of rain could allow one's divine sense to cover an area of 1 billion miles. With the power of Ning Fan's third-grade rain intent, it was not difficult for him to fuse with the second day's rain. However, he could at most fuse with the rain of 3 days. 3 days of rain. Ning Fan changed his hand seal again. He formed the hand seal of the Scarlet Heaven Rain and completely merged the 3 types of rain techniques he knew. The fusion of 3 days of rain had directly depleted all of his magic power. At that moment, the curtain of rain extended for over 1 billion kilometers, bathing the entire my kingdom. At this moment, the rain had soaked the entire my country, spying on the tens of thousands of tree clans, including the Baili clan. The Baili clan was located in the southern region of my country, Kueli City. It was drizzling in Kueli City. Each drop of rain was like a trace of Ning Fan's spirit sense. The drizzle was silent. When it entered the city, the scenery of Kueli City was unobstructed. Under the dim light of the night, the atmosphere of Kueli City was very strange. Each of the members of the Baili clan were like walking corpses. Their eyes were empty and blank. None of them had a primordial spirit or demon soul in their body. At the center of Kueli City, there was a massive palace. Inside the palace, the Baili king who was the leader of the Baili clan was sitting alone in the empty palace like a statue. His eyes were wide open and he did not say a word. There was no expression on his face. If it wasn't for the Baili king's chi of invincibility, Ning Fan would have thought that he was a statue. Is he the Baili king? Ning Fan muttered to himself. When he used the heaven-peering rain technique to spy on the Baili clan, Ning Fan realized that even though the Baili king was strong, he did not give him any sense of danger. There was a great danger lurking behind the Baili clan. However, this danger did not come from the Baili king or the members of the Baili clan. Ning Fan dispersed the rain intent and withdrew his spirit sense from the entire Muyi country. He did not find any dangerous person among the members of the Baili clan. He could not find out the source of the great omen. However, the moment he withdrew his spirit sense, he vaguely heard a sorrowful wail of a bird from Jishui City. That wail was soft and low. It sounded like it was very far away from where he was, but at the same time, it seemed very close, as if it was whispering beside his ear. That whale seemed to have endured thousands of pain, and it seemed to contain thousands of traces of regret. That whale seemed to be trying to remind Ning Fan of something. The person who was wailing seemed to have sensed Ning Fan's terrifying Fu Li ancestral blood. That was why it was trying to remind him of something. That whale made Ning Fan's Fu Li demon blood, which had been silent for a long time, suddenly boil, triggering a faint resonance with it. Is that the cry of Fu Li? No, it doesn't look like it. It's slightly different from Fu Li. That's the cry of Sin Li. The Fu Li clan supported the heavens in this chaotic world. Fu Li was the supervisor of the heavenly Tao in ancient times. Sin Li was the sinner of the Fu Li clan. Any Fu Li who betrays the clan would be stripped of their bloodline and be implanted with the Fu Li evil seal. They would then be demoted to Sin Li and become a slave of the Fu Li clan forever. Ning Fan's eyes revealed a hint of surprise. Is there actually a Sin Li in this Jishui city? He consumed a pill and adjusted his breathing and magic power. After a long time, he displayed the heaven-peering rain technique again to merge the rain of the 3 days. He wanted to listen carefully to see if there were any more cries of Sin Li in Jishui city. However, this time, he could not hear anything. Sin Li. Is there a Sin Li hiding in Jishui city? Ning Fan frowned. He could not hear the second cry of Sin Li anymore. Nia Li's sorrowful cry reverberated in his mind. It made Ning Fan feel a little uneasy. However, he did not know why. After clearing away the distracting thoughts in his mind, Ning Fan quickly formulated the next step of his plan. There was still 1 more month before the bamboo's sovereign gave the order to heal the ancestral bamboo. If he can heal the ancestral bamboo, Ning Fan would be rewarded with the ancestral tree fruit and his rain intent would rise to the 2nd grade. He took out 9 types of 6th revolution pill recipes from his storage pouch. There were low-grade pill recipes, middle-grade pill recipes and high-grade pill recipes. The pills recorded in these pill recipes contained the essence of wood spiritual qi. They could cure all kinds of injuries, illnesses and poisons of tree demons and tree devils. Ning Fan did not know what kind of illness the ancestral bamboo was suffering from. Naturally, he could not prescribe the right medicine. Thus, he decided to concoct some pills that could heal, cure and detoxify just in case he needed them. Ning Fan went into seclusion for 7 days in a row and concocted 4 different types of 6th revolution healing pills and detoxification pills in the profound Yin world. However, there were still 5 pill recipes that he did not have the required spiritual herbs. Ning Fan left the Golden Palace where he temporarily stayed as a guest. He intended to purchase the required spiritual herbs in the shops in Jishui city to concoct pills. The cultivators he met along the way looked at him with deep respect. He turned a blind eye to the reverence of these cultivators and directly walked towards the largest shop in the city. The largest shop in Jishui city was called Jiaxing Lu. It was opened by the Cypress Star clan of Muyi country. The old ancestor of the Cypress Star clan was the 3rd elder of the Bamboo Palace. He was a cultivator at the 1st heavenly layer of the Void Fragmentation realm. The Jiaxing Lu was 10,000 zhang tall. It had tens of floors in total. For early divine transformation realm burly tree devils were standing guard outside the building. Each of their expressions was extremely arrogant. If one did not have a Void Refinement Realm force as his background or was a Void Refinement Realm cultivator, he was not allowed to enter the Jiaxing Lu. All of them would be stopped outside by the burly tree devils. Ning Fan, of course, would not be stopped outside. As soon as the 4 divine transformation realm guards saw Ning Fan, their arrogant expressions immediately disappeared and were replaced with extremely respectful expressions. May I know if Master Lu wants to purchase spiritual herbs for pill concoction or pill recipes or even completed pills? Our Jiaxing Lu is the #1 trading company in Jishui city. We have pill recipes, spiritual herbs and pills. No matter what you need, I'm sure we will be able to satisfy you. Oh. No matter what I need, Jiaxing Lu has it. I wonder if Jiaxing Lu has high-grade 7th revolution healing pills. Ning Fan's eyes carried a hint of a smile as he looked at the top floor of the Jiaxing Lu. What he said was purely a joke. He did not think that Zhaixing Lu would have high-grade 7th Revolution healing pills. His joke was not directed at the 4 Divine Transformation Realm guards. Instead, it was directed at a certain old monster on the top floor of the Zhaixing Lu. The reason why he mentioned high-grade 7th Revolution pills was because he had not forgotten about helping the small sable to recover from its injuries. As soon as they heard Ning Fan asking for high-grade 7th Revolution pills, the 4 Divine Transformation Realm guards immediately revealed a bitter smile. Even though their Zhaixing Lu had all kinds of pills and spiritual herbs, it was only for Void Refinement Realm cultivators. Let alone the fact that Zhaixing Lu did not have high-grade 7th Revolution healing pills. Even if they did, such pills were life-saving items for Void Fragmentation Realm cultivators. Who would be willing to sell them? Master Lu, you must be joking. My Zhaixing Lu doesn't have high-grade 7th Revolution healing pills and the entire tree world doesn't have any. However, I still have a low-grade 7th Revolution healing pill with me. It has always been my life-saving item. If fellow Taoist really needs it, I can give it to you. What's the problem? After Ning Fan said that, an old but hearty voice immediately echoed from the top floor of the Zhaixing Lu. The one who spoke was the 3rd elder of the Bamboo Palace. Ning Fan shook his head with a smile. He was just saying it casually. He knew that Zhaixing Lu would not have such a high-grade healing pill. He did not plan to buy the 3rd elder's life-saving pill. A low-grade 7th Revolution healing pill would not be of much help to the small sable's injuries. A ray of green light shot down from the bottom floor of the Zhaixing Lu and turned into an elderly man with green pupils. He was the 3rd elder of the Bamboo Palace. The elderly man with green pupils cupped his fists at Ning Fan. His body emitted the aura force of the 1st heavenly layer of the Void Fragmentation Realm and said with a smile. I wonder what item Master Lu wants to purchase from Zhaixing Lu today. I want to buy some spiritual herbs to concoct pills. I wonder if your business has these spiritual herbs that I need. Ning Fan cupped his fists to return the greeting. He then patted his storage pouch and took out a jade slip and passed it to the elderly man. The jade slip recorded all kinds of 50,000 years old spiritual herbs needed for pill concoction. The elderly man scanned the jade slip with his spirit sense and nodded. Our business has all the spiritual herbs that Master needs in stock. Why don't you follow me into the building to get the herbs? However, before that, I have a question to ask Master Lu. Are you buying these spiritual herbs to concoct pills that can cure Zhu Zhu's illness? That's right. If that's the case, I'm afraid Master has bought the wrong spiritual herbs. Even though I'm not an expert in pill refinement, I have a good understanding of the medicinal properties of various spiritual herbs because I'm running a business. The spiritual herbs that Master needs can cure and detoxify the injuries of tree demons and evil trees. The pills that I concoct are mostly healing and detoxifying pills. These pills can't cure Zhu Zhu's illness. When he thought of the strange illness that Zhu Zhu had, the elderly man showed a worried expression. The ancestral bamboo was the most precious treasure of the Bamboo Palace. Not only could it bear the ancestral tree fruit, but the tree itself could also nurture a tree spirit. The tree spirit possessed the cultivation base of the 3rd heavenly layer of the Void Fragmentation Realm. When necessary, it could leave the body of the ancestral bamboo and fight for the sake of protecting the Bamboo Palace. However, since 10,000 years ago, the tree spirit had never left the body of the ancestral bamboo ever since. Since 10,000 years ago, the leaves of the ancestral bamboo began to wither day by day. Recently, the withering became more intense as if the entire ancestral bamboo was about to wither and die. At this critical moment, the tree spirit in the ancestral bamboo suddenly left the body of the tree and appeared in the Bamboo Palace. Then, as if it was possessed, it went on a killing spree. In just a few breaths' time, the tree spirit had killed 7 Void Refinement Realm experts of the Bamboo Palace with its 3rd heavenly layer cultivation base. If it wasn't for the bamboo sovereign who took action in time to suppress the raging tree spirit of the ancestral bamboo, the tree spirit would probably have killed even more experts of the Bamboo Palace. The bamboo sovereign sealed the tree spirit and the ancestral tree in a forbidden area, forbidding any cultivators of the bamboo palace from getting close to it to avoid being killed by the crazy tree spirit. The bamboo sovereign announced to the outside world that the ancestral bamboo was suffering from a strange disease, but he did not mention anything about the tree spirit's madness. The reason why the bamboo sovereign summoned all the pill refinement masters in the world was not only to cure the withering disease of the ancestral bamboo but also to revive it. More importantly, the bamboo sovereign wanted to cure the tree spirit's madness. It wasn't an injury, illness, or poison, it was a strange disease that the bamboo sovereign had never seen before. After the tree spirit contracted this strange disease, it had completely forgotten its mission to protect the bamboo palace. It became unrecognizable and killed anyone it saw. The green-eyed elderly man knew that the pill Ning Fan wanted to concoct was not the right medicine to cure the tree spirit's madness. I have never seen the ancestral bamboo before. I don't know what kind of strange disease it has. Naturally, I can't prescribe the right medicine. May I ask, third elder, what kind of strange disease does the ancestral bamboo have? The bamboo sovereign has given an order that all information related to the ancestral bamboo is the highest secret of the bamboo palace and must not be leaked. However, fellow Taoist is not an outsider. You are a pill refinement master who specializes in treating the ancestral bamboo. I think it's not inappropriate for me to tell you all the secrets I know. Fellow Taoist, please take a look at this jade slip. It contains all the information about the ancestral bamboo. The green-eyed elderly man took out a jade slip and passed it to Ning Fan. Ning Fan received the jade slip and scanned through its contents. His eyes were filled with surprise. It turns out that the strange disease of the ancestral bamboo refers to the madness of the tree spirit. If I want to cure the tree spirit's madness, I must first find out the reason behind it. Ning Fan scanned through the information in the jade slip with his spirit sense. Suddenly, his heart moved. The jade slip contained all the information about the ancestral bamboo. Two of the information caught Ning Fan's attention. Firstly, the ancestral bamboo grew in the small Kiliakosm forbidden area of the bamboo palace. It was a divine bamboo planted by a certain bamboo sovereign. It was said that the bamboo sovereign had once used the ancestral bamboo's power to suppress a ferocious beast called Sinli in the forbidden area. This piece of information was related to the Sinli. It made Ning Fan very concerned. The sorrowful cry of the Sinli that he heard that day might have come from the forbidden area of the ancestral bamboo. Secondly, 10,000 years ago, the Baili clan of the Muyi country was responsible for guarding the ancestral bamboo in the bamboo palace, therefore, Ning Fan paid close attention to the Baili clan. When he saw this piece of information, his eyes immediately turned cold. It's the Baili clan again. 10,000 years ago, the ancestral bamboo developed this disease. The ones who guarded the ancestral bamboo 10,000 years ago were the Baili clan. Baili. This Baili clan is definitely not a benevolent clan. Could it be that the illness of the ancestral bamboo and the madness of the tree spirit are related to the Baili clan? Is there any connection between the great crisis that the Baili clan is facing in the future and the strange disease of the ancestral bamboo? Could that ominous sign be related to the Sinli clan that the ancestral bamboo is suppressing? Ning Fan put away all his distracting thoughts. He did not purchase the spiritual herbs that he bought earlier. Instead, he found a few pill formulas that specialized in curing madness and purchased the required spiritual herbs for them in the star-picking tower. I wonder if these pills can cure the ancestral bamboo's madness. He bid farewell to the third elder and left the star-picking tower. On his way back to the Golden Palace, he was suddenly stopped by a young lady in red robes angrily. Liu Bei, it's all your fault. It's all your fault. Today, the first round of the competition for the 8th elder's successor was held in the Bamboo Palace. My father, Tang Xiong, was severely injured by King Baili with a single palm strike and lost his qualification to be selected. Do you know that? If you had agreed to my grandfather's request that day and helped my Fusang clan to select the 8th elder of the Bamboo Palace, my father wouldn't have participated in the competition and he wouldn't have been severely injured by King Baili. It's all your fault. You're the one who injured my father. How are you going to take responsibility for this? The person who stood in front of Ning Fan was the little princess of the Fusang clan, Tang Yuan. At this moment, she was crying like a pear blossom in the rain. With an unforgiving tone, she stood in front of Ning Fan, blocking his path and glaring at him angrily. Ning Fan's eyes flashed with impatience. This little princess of the Fusang clan is really clingy. Today, she actually came to cause trouble for no reason again. Ning Fan did not know that the first round of the 8th Elder's selection had already begun. He also did not know that Tang Xiong had lost his qualification and was injured by King Bai Li. This matter had nothing to do with him at all. His relationship with the Fusang clan was as shallow as water. What did it have to do with him that Tang Xiong was injured by King Bai Li? It was really baffling for Tang Yuan to come to his door and ask him about this matter. It was Ning Fan's first time seeing such a brainless woman. He did not have the mood to coax this crying woman, nor did he have the mood to take responsibility for her. She was not his human cauldron. What right did he have to take responsibility for her? Ning Fan acted as if he did not see her at all. He directly walked past her and left her there. When Tang Yuan saw that Ning Fan was ignoring her, she quickly chased after him. She grabbed Ning Fan's sleeve and said persistently, "You haven't taken responsibility for me yet. You can't leave. Freeze." Ning Fan pointed his finger at her and performed the heaven freezing technique, freezing her on the spot. He had an absolute void stage cultivation base while Tang Yuan had a nascent soul realm cultivation base. If he performed the heaven freezing technique, he would probably be able to freeze her for the rest of her life. Of course, if a void refinement realm expert of the Fusang clan appears, they would probably be able to break this technique after spending a lot of effort. Why can't I move? What did you do to me? Let me go. Tang Yuan was a little scared. Ning Fan pulled out his sleeve and patted the dust on it. Then, he said indifferently to Tang Yuan. "Last time, I spared you when you came to look for trouble. This time, I just froze you in place. Consider it a small punishment. If it happens again, I will directly throw you into the lair of a void refinement realm ferocious beast and let you perish on your own." As soon as Ning Fan finished speaking, he turned around and left, leaving Tang Yuan, who had been struck by the heaven freezing technique. She was immobilized on the long street. Tang Yuan felt so wronged that she almost burst into tears. She had never been bullied by anyone before. Today, however, she was bullied by Ning Fan. She wanted to break free from the heaven freezing technique, but she realized that it was not something that she could break free from at all. She stared at Ning Fan's back. She clearly wanted to scold him fiercely. However, when the words reached her mouth, they turned into begging for mercy. "She really has no integrity, Master Lu, quickly let me go. I beg you. Master, I beg you to let me go. I will never provoke you again. Master, why are you walking further and further away? Master, don't go. Master. If you let me go, I will repay you with my body. I promise." Tang Yuan's begging could not move Ning Fan at all. Very soon, Ning Fan disappeared from her sight. She stood on the long street in a disheveled manner like a statue until the 4 female guards who arrived late carried her back. After Tang Yuan left in a disheveled manner, Ning Fan's figure flashed and he suddenly reappeared at his original spot. He muttered to himself. The selection of the 8th Elder has already begun. If there are no accidents, King Bai Li should be the next 8th Elder. Bai Li. Chapter 591. As the days passed, the successor of the 8th Elder was finally decided after several rounds of assessment. Unsurprisingly, King Bai Li became the new 8th Elder. The pill refinement grandmasters of the tree world came to Ji Shui City one after another. Including Ning Fan, there were a total of 11 6th Revolution pill refinement masters. Ning Fan did not leave his house at all. He was busy concocting pills to cure insanity. On the surface, he seemed indifferent to everything that was happening in the outside world. Secretly, he used the heaven-prying rain technique several times to spy on the movements of the entire wild husbandry country. Wild husbandry country, Jishui City. Everything seemed to be peaceful. When the 3 high-grade 6th Revolution Pill Refinement Masters of the Tree World arrived at Jishui City, Ning Fan received an invitation from the Bamboo Palace. The one who delivered the invitation was a mid-divine transformation realm young man with green eyes. He was the young lord of the Xingbai clan. His eyes were filled with 30% worship and 70% reverence. He was also an alchemist. This junior is here to invite Senior Lu to attend the banquet in the Bamboo Palace tonight under the orders of the third elder. Senior will know the specific details after reading the invitation. Ning Fan took the invitation and glanced at it. Tonight, the Bamboo Palace would hold a banquet in the Bamboo Palace to entertain the 11th 6th Revolution Pill Refinement Masters who came to Jishui City. Tomorrow, the Bamboo Sovereign would bring the 11th 6th Revolution Pill Refinement Masters and part of the 5th Revolution Pill Refinement Masters to the place where Zhu Zhu was to officially diagnose her illness. Other than the 11th 6th Revolution Pill Refinement Masters, who else will be attending the banquet? Ning Fan asked. Senior, this banquet will be hosted by the Bamboo Sovereign personally. All 7 Void Fragmentation Realm Elders will be present. Even the new 8th Elder will be there. Other than Senior and the other 6th Revolution Pill Refinement Masters, the Bamboo Sovereign has also invited some Void Refinement Realm forces, such as the Fu Sang clan and the Nanmu clan. Alright, I got it. You may leave now. Ning Fan nodded. Yes. This junior will take his leave now. The young man bowed respectfully and turned into a ray of traveling light before leaving. Dusk gradually deepened, and night quickly fell. Ning Fan left the Gold Palace and walked on the long street of Jishui City, slowly heading towards the Bamboo Palace. During this period of time, he would feel uneasy from time to time, as if some kind of danger was gradually approaching him. He did not like to get involved in unimportant dangers. But in order to obtain the tree ancestor fruit, he had no choice but to stay in the Eastern Tree Sea. Just as Ning Fan was deep in thought, a series of bloodthirsty tiger roars suddenly sounded from behind him. He saw a tree carriage pulled by 4 wild beasts, blood tigers, approaching from afar. The emblem of the Bailey clan was painted on the tree carriage. The drivers were 4 Void Glimpse stage experts of the Bailey clan. The person sitting inside the carriage was none other than King Bailey, who had just been promoted to the 8th Elder of the Bamboo Palace. Upon seeing the blood tiger tree carriage, the cultivators on the street all retreated. That tree carriage was moving at full speed all the way. When it reached Ning Fan's side, it suddenly stopped. King Bailey walked out of the tree carriage. His eyes were cold and indifferent. Without saying anything, he waved his sleeve and countless rays of blood light flew out from it. They condensed into a jade invitation and he tossed it to Ning Fan. Ning Fan received the jade invitation and glanced at it. This was the 4th invitation from King Bailey. This time, King Bailey personally delivered the letter of challenge. This time, the letter of challenge didn't just have the word death written on it, but 3. Tomorrow, die. King Bailey's eyes were filled with boundless killing intent. It seemed like he would never give up until he killed Ning Fan. However, there was a hint of pain, pleading and reminding in the deepest part of his eyes. That was his true expression. From the beginning to the end, King Bailey did not say anything. After delivering the 4th invitation, he returned to the tree carriage and headed to the Bamboo Palace at full speed. The cultivators nearby who did not know the truth noticed King Bailey's murderous gaze towards Ning Fan. All of them secretly guessed what kind of grudge King Bailey had with Ning Fan. Ning Fan stood on the long street with the 4th invitation in his hand. His expression showed that he was deep in thought. There were only 3 words on the invitation, but they contained an important message. Tomorrow. Ning Fan's mind raced. Is the Bailey clan going to kill me tomorrow? However, if they really want to kill me, why did they specifically mention the date and let me be prepared in advance? Tomorrow, more assassins from the Bailey clan will come to kill me. Does King Bailey want me to be prepared and eliminate all of them? Instead of saying that he sent this invitation to show his killing intent, it would be better to say that he is reminding me. What exactly is he planning to do by doing this? Tomorrow, the Bamboo Sovereign will bring us 6th Revolution Pill Masters to the Minor Thousand Forbidden Land where Zhu Zhu is to treat her illness. Could it be that the Bailey clan will attack me there? No matter what, I must be careful tomorrow. Ning Fan walked all the way to the Bamboo Palace. It was a palace built with golden bamboo. Outside the palace, as soon as the guards saw Ning Fan holding the invitation, they immediately welcomed him into the palace to take a seat. Inside the palace, rows of palace maids dressed in fine gauze were dancing gracefully. A faint fragrance filled the air. In the main hall, the Bamboo Sovereign sat at the head of the table. Below him were the seats of the 11 6th Revolution Pill Masters. Below them were the seats of the Void Fragmentation Realm Elders of the Bamboo Palace. After that were the seats of the other Void Refinement Realm Experts and 5th Revolution Pill Masters. Such an arrangement naturally showed how much importance the Bamboo Sovereign attached to treating Zhu Zhu. Ning Fan was not the first 6th Revolution Pill Master to come, and he would not be the last one either. Before him, there were already 7 6th Revolution Pill Masters, including 3 high-grade 6th Revolution Pill Masters and 4 mid- and low-grade 6th Revolution Pill Masters. The 4 mid- and low-grade 6th Revolution Pill Masters were very polite to Ning Fan. When they saw him taking a seat, they immediately stood up and cupped their fists to greet him. As for the 3 high-grade 6th Revolution Pill Masters, they sized up Ning Fan with different expressions. Among the 3 of them, one of them came from the Northern Tree Sea. He was the Tree Lord of the Azure Life Sea. When he looked at Ning Fan, his eyes were filled with arrogance and disdain. This person had a very high opinion of himself. As the number 1 Pill Master of the Northern Tree Sea, his eyes were usually on the top of his head. He did not even put Gue Yuan Tai Su in his eyes. Even if it was a Pill Master at the same level as him, he would also look down on others. Since he looked down on Ning Fan, he naturally did not want to talk to him at all. After sizing him up, he smiled disdainfully and narrowed his eyes, pretending to sleep. The other high-grade 6th Revolution Pill Master came from the Eastern Tree Sea. He was the Chief Pill Master of the Vine Palace. His name was Zhu Hong. When he looked at Ning Fan, his eyes were filled with hostility. Needless to say, it was because Ning Fan had offended the Vine Sovereign. The last person came from the Southern Tree Sea. His name was Sun Yu. He was the Chief Pill Master of the Snow Willow Devil Palace. His expression was kind and friendly. When he looked at Ning Fan, his eyes were filled with smiles. After realizing that Ning Fan's medicine soul was slightly stronger than his, Sun Yu immediately cupped his fists and said politely, "Fellow Taoist Lu, you have a strong medicine soul power. You are indeed the person who can shatter the 6-colored ancient monument with your medicine soul power. Fellow Taoist Sun must be joking." Ning Fan sat beside Sun Yu and smiled politely at him. Then, he cupped his fists and returned the greeting. Before he came to the banquet, he had already figured out the background of the 6th Revolution Pill Masters of the Tree World. Since the Azure Life Tree Lord and Zhu Hong did not like him, he naturally would not pay them any attention. Since Sun Yu was polite to him, he returned the favor. The two of them exchanged toasts and began to talk about their pill refinement techniques. The unique characteristic of Ning Fan's pill refinement techniques was that he had gathered the strengths of hundreds of schools of thought. The pill refinement technique that Sun Yu had learned was the orthodox Tao of Burning Wood of the Tree World. Even though he did not have a wide range of knowledge, he had a very deep understanding of the Tao of Burning Wood. After chatting for a while, the two of them had a lot in common. Gradually, they began to talk more. Sun Yu thought of something and hesitated. In the end, he decided to remind Ning Fan and asked using telepathy, "May I ask if fellow Taoist Lu has ever offended the Willow Sovereign?" The Willow Sovereign? Ning Fan recalled his encounter with Lu Haoyue and shook his head with a smile. Then, he replied through telepathy, "No, I haven't. That's strange. If fellow Taoist has never offended the Willow Sovereign, why would the Willow Sovereign give such an order? Sun Yu shook his head in confusion. Then, he reminded Ning Fan. Fellow Taoist, please don't come to the South Tree Sea in the near future. Fellow Taoist, you have once angered the Vine Sovereign. She was so angry that she issued an arrest warrant for you. When the Willow Sovereign received the arrest warrant, she let out 3 laughs after seeing it and gave an order. She ordered the cultivators of the Willow Palace to pay close attention to the movements around the Realm Gate. Once you arrive at the South Tree Sea, they are to invite you to the Willow Palace to stay for a while. In the eyes of Sun Yu and other people who did not know the truth, the Willow Sovereign's request for Ning Fan to stay in the Willow Palace was fake. Her real intention was to capture and imprison Ning Fan in the Willow Palace. Sun Yu naturally did not know that the Willow Sovereign had met Ning Fan once. She admired his profound Tao comprehension very much. After seeing the arrest warrant for Ning Fan, the Willow Sovereign immediately understood that Ning Fan had sneaked into the tree world from the rain world. The Willow Sovereign's order was really just to invite Ning Fan to the Willow Palace for a chat. She did not have any malicious intentions. I see. Thank you for your reminder. I won't be going to the South Tree Sea in the near future. However, if fellow Taoist returns to the Willow Palace, please send my greetings to the Willow Sovereign. Just tell him that I'm busy with worldly affairs. I'm afraid I won't have the chance to go to the South Tree Sea and drink with him this time. Sun Yu reminded Ning Fan out of goodwill. Thus, Ning Fan naturally felt grateful. He also told Sun Yu that he had a friendly relationship with the Willow Sovereign. The Willow Sovereign's order was just an ordinary kind gesture. Sun Yu was slightly surprised. He did not expect that Ning Fan had a friendly relationship with the Willow Sovereign. After understanding this, Sun Yu was no longer worried that Ning Fan would be targeted by the South Tree Sea. He tried his best to invite Ning Fan to the South Tree Sea when he is free to have a chat and exchange pill refinement techniques. After 3 rounds of wine, the sound tablet in Sun Yu's storage pouch suddenly rang. The message was from one of Sun Yu's disciples. It seemed like something had happened and they needed Sun Yu to rush back to his residence in the Jishui city to deal with it. Sun Yu frowned slightly and said to Ning Fan, "My disciples have a small problem in their pill refinement and they want me to go back to deal with it. Sigh. I'll take my leave first. See you tomorrow." After bidding farewell to the Bamboo Sovereign, Sun Yu left the palace banquet. No one noticed that as Sun Yu was leaving, Grandmaster Zhu Hong from the Western Tree Sea looked at Sun Yu's back and sneered. The plan is about to begin. Not long after Sun Yu left, the palace banquet was about to come to an end. Tonight's banquet was only for the 11th Sixth Revolution Pill Masters. Tomorrow morning would be the time to treat Zhu Zhu's strange illness. The Pill Masters also did not stay for long and left one after another. Ning Fan also left. However, right after he left the banquet, Tang Xiong also left the banquet with his daughter from the Fu Sang clan. They quickly caught up with Ning Fan and left together with him. "Fellow Taoist, please wait." Behind Tang Xiong was Miss Tang Yuan, who looked dejected. The heaven sealing technique that she was afflicted with had already been removed. However, after suffering from it, she obviously became much more obedient and did not dare to find trouble with Ning Fan anymore. "What's the matter?" Ning Fan stopped and looked at Tang Xiong with a faint smile. "The reason why I stopped, fellow Taoist, is to apologize to you. My daughter is spoiled and willful. She doesn't know the severity of her actions. She has offended fellow Taoist many times in the past. I hope that fellow Taoist can be magnanimous and not lower yourself to the same level as a little girl." Tang Xiong cupped his fists and smiled apologetically. Then, he coughed a few times as if it affected his injuries. "I'm not a little girl." Tang Yuan raised her head weakly and retorted. Tang Xiong immediately glared at her and she did not dare to say anything else. She also did not dare to look at Ning Fan, fearing that she would be thrown into the nest of the demon beasts to fend for herself if she angered Ning Fan. Ning Fan could not help but find it a little funny. Even though Tang Yuan was unruly and willful, she was actually just a paper tiger. If he indulged her, she would give him face. If he was serious about her, she would submit to him in fear. Fellow Taoist, don't worry. Your daughter just had a small quarrel with me. I won't stoop to the level of a little girl. If fellow Taoist has nothing else to say, I'll take my leave first. Wait. I still have one more thing to ask fellow Taoist. Tang Xiong gritted his teeth and stopped Ning Fan again. What is it? Ning Fan was surprised. I want to ask fellow Taoist to accept my daughter as your concubine. When Tang Xiong said that, his face was full of helplessness. What? Father, what nonsense are you talking about? Why should I be the concubine of this bastard Liu Bei? Tang Yuan was instantly enraged. Her face was as red as a tomato. Fellow Taoist Tang, are you joking with me? Ning Fan asked with a frown. Tang Yuan was the little princess of the Fu Sang clan. Even though her appearance and aptitude were not first-rate, they were not bad at all. Even though the Fu Sang clan had declined, it was not difficult for them to find a Dao companion for Tang Yuan with their foundation. Why would they give this girl to Ning Fan as a concubine? If some small forces were to give their daughter to Ning Fan to please him, it would make sense. No matter how weak the Fu Sang clan was, it was impossible for them to do something like giving away their daughter for glory. Ning Fan was very puzzled. What was Tang Xiong's intention? Even though he did not hate Tang Yuan, he did not have a good impression of her either. Just as he was about to refuse, Tang Xiong suddenly gritted his teeth and took out a jade slip. Fu Sang is already at the end of its road. Fellow Taoist will understand my intentions after reading this jade slip. Ning Fan received the jade slip and scanned it with his spirit sense. As soon as he read the contents, he was shocked. It was a report from the northern Shuhai's Gomang country. The old demon of Fu Sang who was guarding the country had fallen. Originally, the old demon of Fu Sang still had 10 years of lifespan. However, a few days ago, a void fragmentation realm expert sneaked into the Gomang country and fought him secretly. That battle damaged the old demon of Fu Sang's foundation and damaged his lifespan. He originally had 10 years of lifespan left, but because of that battle, his life force was depleted. The old demon of Fu Sang had fallen a few days ago. After that, his corpse was taken away by someone. Other than telling the Bamboo Sovereign, the Fu Sang clan had kept this news a secret from the outside world. The old demon of Fu Sang's lifespan was depleted by a void fragmentation realm expert and he died. That void fragmentation realm expert was certainly a great enemy of the Fu Sang clan. Tang Xiong felt that the Fu Sang clan was about to face a great calamity. That was why he decided to give his daughter to Ning Fan. In Tang Xiong's impression, Ning Fan had an extremely terrifying baleful qi. It was highly possible that he had killed void fragmentation realm experts before and he had the ability to protect Tang Yuan. Besides, after getting along with him in the Gomang country, Tang Xiong believed that Ning Fan was trustworthy. If he gave his daughter to Ning Fan to take care of, nothing would go wrong. Tang Xiong was going to entrust his daughter to Ning Fan. He had a premonition that the Fu Sang clan was not far from extinction. If the Fu Sang clan is destroyed, then so be it. When it reaches its peak, it will eventually decline. It was all fate and could not be forced. However, the only thing that Tang Xiong was worried about was his daughter. He did not want his daughter to perish together with the Fu Sang clan. If Tang Yuan can survive, at least a little of the Fu Sang clan's bloodline would be preserved. Fellow Taoist, what do you think? Are you willing to accept my request? Tang Xiong heaved a long sigh and closed his eyes. Ning Fan was not the only one who could sense the impending calamity. Anyone who was in the midst of it could feel the uneasiness in their hearts. The Bamboo Sovereign was uneasy. The Bamboo Palace was also uneasy. However, they only thought that their uneasiness was caused by the madness of the ancestral tree. Tang Xiong, on the other hand, could foresee that he was not far away from death. If it wasn't a matter of life and death, he would not ask Ning Fan to take in his beloved daughter. Bang! Tang Xiong suddenly knelt in front of Ning Fan. His old face turned red. He had never knelt before anyone in his life. However, for his beloved daughter, he was willing to abandon his dignity and kneel. Father. Tang Yuan was stunned. She had never seen her father kneel down and beg for help. She did not know that the Fu Sang clan was already on the verge of destruction. She did not know how sad her father felt when he knelt. Her eyes were filled with panic and she did not know what to do. She tried to help Tang Xiong up but failed. Ning Fan's heart skipped a beat. He was also moved by Tang Xiong's love for his daughter. The cultivation world was cold and indifferent. It did not value kinship but cultivation. As an ambitious and ruthless person, Tang Xiong refused to submit to heaven and earth. However, he was willing to humiliate himself for his beloved daughter. Ning Fan recalled his mother whom he had never met. He recalled the scenes he saw in the Weeping Blood Forest. His cold heart was also touched. If he was in trouble, his mother would certainly be willing to kneel to someone, the love of a father and the will of a mother. How many cultivators left the mountain villages and rashly severed their ties with the mortal world and abandoned their parents just to pursue immortality that was as ethereal as smoke? Those old monsters who boasted that their Tao hearts were as hard as stone and as shrewd as the sea wholeheartedly sought immortality, but it was difficult for them to achieve it. If they could not even be human, how could they become immortals? Fellow Taoist, please rise. I will accept your request. After I complete the task entrusted by the bamboo sovereign and heal the ancestral tree, I will bring Miss Tang Yuan and leave the Eastern Tree Sea together. It won't be difficult to protect her for the rest of her life. Before that, Miss Tang Yuan will stay by your side temporarily. Ning Fan helped Tang Xiong up and gave Tang Yuan a sidelong glance. She was looking at him with her heart in a mess. Her expression was extremely complicated. Tang Yuan wanted to cry but had no tears. She did not understand what was going on at all. Why did her father give her to Ning Fan as a concubine? Damn it! When she thought of marrying Ning Fan as a concubine in the future, she was so resentful that she wanted to bang her head on a piece of tofu and die. Just as he was about to taunt Ning Fan, he immediately recalled Ning Fan's terrifying abilities and techniques. That made him a little scared. When she recalled that her father, who had a tough personality, actually knelt to someone for her, she felt extremely bitter. She wanted to cry but she could not. On second thought, her father gave her to Ning Fan for no reason. Could it be that Ning Fan had done something bad and forced her father to do such a thing? It's possible. It's very possible. It's very possible. Ning Fan was a high-grade 6th Revolution pill refinement master who was favored by the bamboo sovereign. His status was extraordinary. If he threatens the Fu Sang clan, the declining Fu Sang clan would most likely have no choice but to compromise. Master, you are despicable. You set up a scheme to force me to marry you. Even if you get my body, you won't be able to get my heart. Tang Yuan said to Ning Fan through telepathy while gritting her teeth. Ning Fan shook his head and did not explain anything to her. He just reminded Tang Xiong. I'm afraid something big is going to happen soon. Unless it's absolutely necessary, don't leave Jishui City. If it's possible, when I leave the Eastern Tree Sea, I will bring all the members of the Fu Sang clan with me to help all of you escape the calamity. The Longdan Palace was the residence of Nan Shuhai's Grandmaster Sun Yu in Jishui City. After receiving the telepathic messages from his disciples, Sun Yu hurriedly rushed back to the palace. As soon as he entered the palace, he saw more than 10 of his disciples standing in the pill refinement room with empty eyes. Their eyes were lifeless like walking corpses. A sense of danger suddenly came from behind. Sun Yu quickly turned around and saw a silver-haired old man standing behind him. His eyes were blood-red and his body was surrounded by the aura force of the first heavenly layer of the void fragmentation realm. You are. Sun Yu's eyes were filled with vigilance. Before he could finish his sentence, he saw the silver-haired old man suddenly raise his finger and infuse it with his magic power. Countless threads of magic power that were thinner than silk spread out from his finger and pierced into Sun Yu's body. Sun Yu was a void inquiry stage expert after all. However, the moment the threads pierced his body, the primordial spirit in his dantian immediately dissipated. The dissipation of his primordial spirit meant that Sun Yu had died. However, he was not dead yet. Instead, he was still alive in a strange state. His eyes became empty and blank. Looking at the silver-haired old man, his body suddenly fell to his knees stiffly. Sun Yu, greets, my lord. After Sun Yu strangely knelt down and surrendered, another old man suddenly walked out from behind the silver-haired old man. He was the chief pill refinement master of the Western Tree Sea, Zhu Hong. I didn't expect this. I've been competing with Sun Yu in pill refinement all my life. In the end, he has become Elder Wan's puppet. Hee hee. Elder Wan's divine ability is so strong that I really admire it. Zhu Hong said respectfully to the silver-haired old man. He did not dare to show any disrespect to the silver-haired old man. Even though this silver-haired old man was just an old monster at the first heavenly layer of the void fragmentation realm, he was much more dangerous than ordinary second heavenly layer and third heavenly layer void fragmentation realm old monsters. He was Wan Changkong, the crazy devil who massacred the other Eastern Tree Seas alone 10,000 years ago. Even the Bamboo Sovereign and the Willow Sovereign could not capture him. He was the most important part of the Vine Sovereign's plan to destroy the Bamboo Palace. His devil veins had an extremely terrifying ability which could directly turn his enemies into his puppets. Anyone with a lower cultivation base than him would not be able to escape from the control of his devil veins. Even if his opponent's cultivation base was 1 or 2 levels higher than his, he could still control them as long as he was willing to pay a certain price. Hee hee. 10,000 years ago, when I killed my way into the Eastern Tree Sea, I had already planted enough chess pieces. Tomorrow, I will control millions of puppets and cooperate with the Vine Sovereign to destroy the Bamboo Palace. As for that crazy Liu Bei who dared to offend the Vine Sovereign, I'll take this opportunity to kill him as well. After tomorrow, the Bamboo Sovereign will surely be shocked. Who knows how many of his trusted subordinates are my puppets? Hee hee, this old man is really looking forward to this good show of killing each other. Chapter 592. One night passed. Ning Fan's figure flashed and appeared outside the Bamboo Imperial Palace. He slowly walked into the palace and went straight to the main hall. Today, 11 6th Revolution Pill Masters and 16 5th Revolution Pill Masters including him would enter the small Kiliacosm where Zhu Zhu was to diagnose his illness. Below the stairs stood 4 6th Revolution Pill Masters and 3 5th Revolution Pill Masters. Ning Fan was the 8th Pill Master to arrive. Not long after Ning Fan arrived, the other Pill Masters arrived one after another. When all 27 Pill Masters arrived, a few rays of faint green light suddenly flashed in the main hall. When the green light dispersed, the Bamboo Sovereign's figure appeared. The 6th Elder and the 8th Elder stood on his left and right respectively. The 6th Elder's Dao title was Ling Zhu. He was an old-fashioned cultivator from the Profound Sect. He had a cultivation base at the first heavenly layer of the Void Fragmentation Realm and cultivated the Dao of Tree God. He hated devil cultivators who killed people like Scything Flax the most. Because of that, he once disliked Ning Fan. The 8th Elder was King Bai Li. His cultivation base was already at the unrivaled origin returning realm. Today, King Bai Li's expression was not as lifeless as before. His eyes were filled with domineering arrogance. Ever since he appeared, he had only glanced at Ning Fan once. After that, he never looked at him again. Ning Fan glanced at King Bai Li from the corner of his eyes and frowned slightly. He had met King Bai Li face to face once and secretly spied on him a few times. Each time he spied on King Bai Li, the latter's eyes were blank and numb. Today, however, his eyes were like a normal person and there was nothing unusual about them. In this state, King Bai Li gave Ning Fan a faint sense of danger. I'm very grateful to all of you for coming all the way here to help me cure Zhu Zhu. Today, I promise that as long as you can cure Zhu Zhu's illness, I will certainly reward you handsomely. Zhu Zhu has been sealed in the bamboo world by me. That is a small kiliocosm that exists in the sky above Jishui City. Everyone, please follow me to the bamboo world and see Zhu Zhu with your own eyes. Let's see if you can cure him. As soon as the bamboo sovereign finished speaking, he flicked his sleeve and a bright green light shone. The green light engulfed everyone at the scene and turned into a ray of light, flying towards the sky above Jishui City. The speed of the bamboo sovereign was extremely fast. It was far from what Ning Fan could compare with. The light sped all the way up into the sky. The higher they flew, the stronger the heavenly winds in the sky, and the greater the resistance they had to face. In the vast sky, the wind was like a blade that could easily kill golden core and nascent soul cultivators. Such a height was not something an ordinary cultivator could fly up to. The bamboo emperor's flight light passed through the heavenly wind layer and flew up for tens of millions of feet, entering the astral wind layer above the sky dome. The power of the astral wind was very terrifying and could easily tear apart the body of a soul formation cultivator. At this height, some fifth revolution pill refinement masters who were only at the divine transformation realm could no longer withstand the wind pressure. If not for the protection of the bamboo emperor's green light, these spirit-severing pill masters would have died in the astral winds. The bamboo emperor flew all the way to the peak of the sky and flew for a full 2 hours. The astral wind in this place had completely disappeared, turning into a black void wind. The might of the void wind was enough to tear the body of an ordinary void glimpse stage cultivator apart. If the void wind turns into a storm of a large enough scale, even a void pierce stage or absolute void stage cultivator might not be able to escape unscathed. All the 6th revolution pill refinement masters on the scene were void refinement realm cultivators. They were not afraid of the heavenly wind and astral wind, but they could not help but be wary of the void wind. Even the high-grade 6th revolution pill refinement masters like the vast sea tree lord and Zhu Hong, who had seen great scenes before, wore solemn expressions. Sun Yu, on the other hand, looked extraordinarily calm. No, rather than saying he was calm, it would be better to say that his expression today was a little numb. There was no smile nor fear. Ning Fan glanced at Sun Yu from the corner of his eyes and felt a little strange. During the palace banquet last night, Sun Yu was still chatting happily with him and they were very close. However, after they met today, Sun Yu did not even greet him. His attitude was extremely cold. It had only been one night and Sun Yu's attitude towards him had actually changed so drastically. It was really strange. While Ning Fan was still thinking, the bamboo emperor's voice entered everyone's ears. The realm gate that leads to the bamboo world is at the peak of the sky above Jishui. It is in the void wind eye. The bamboo emperor said indifferently. What? The void wind eye? As soon as they heard that the realm gate that leads to the bamboo world was actually located in the void wind eye, other than Ning Fan, Sun Yu, and the 2 elders of the bamboo palace, all the pill refinement masters' expressions changed drastically. The void wind eye was a vortex of wind that was naturally formed at the place where the void wind was the strongest. The scale of the void wind in the wind eye was far beyond the imagination of ordinary people. Even ordinary void fragmentation realm cultivators would not dare to enter the wind eye easily. The bamboo palace hid the ancestral bamboo in the bamboo world, while the realm gate that leads to the bamboo world was hidden in the void wind eye at the peak of the sky. If ordinary people want to sneak into the bamboo world, they would have to face 2 problems. Firstly, they must have the confidence to pass through the void wind eye. Secondly, they must have the token to open the realm gate. Only with these 2 prerequisites, outsiders could enter the bamboo world. Behind the bamboo world, there was still the ancestral bamboo. Within the ancestral bamboo, there was even a tree spirit at the 3rd heavenly layer of the void fragmentation realm. Even if ordinary people managed to sneak into the bamboo world, they would not be able to do anything to the ancestral bamboo because of the existence of the tree spirit. The bamboo palace hid the ancestral bamboo in this place. It was very safe. The traveling light of the tree sovereign flew all the way to the peak of the sky. This place was the highest place that the cultivators of the lower worlds could fly to. Any higher than that would be blocked by countless rays of realm-breaking light. If one breaks through this layer of realm-breaking light, he or she would be able to leave the tree world and ascend to the four heavens immortal world, which was a higher plane. Unfortunately, the destructive power of the realm-breaking light was extremely terrifying. Even a rogue immortal who was well prepared would not be able to pass through it. Ning Fan's wind mist finger was no doubt powerful. However, his comprehension of samsara had stagnated and his cultivation base was still far from the level of a rogue immortal. Even if he uses the wind mist finger, it would be very difficult for him to break through the realm-breaking light. Ning Fan withdrew his gaze and no longer looked at the realm-breaking light. This light was too dazzling. If he looks at it for a long time, it would even cause his sea of consciousness to feel intense pain. He lowered his head and looked at the black wind eye, which was as massive as an ocean. The black wind in the wind eye twisted. A gigantic void refinement realm bird that was growing in the sky was sucked into the wind eye from afar. It was unknown what kind of demon it was. Its chi was as powerful as a void pierce stage cultivator. When it spread its wings, it was 6,000 zhang in size. However, as soon as it was sucked into the wind eye, it immediately let out a blood-curdling shriek. Its extremely powerful demon body was torn into countless pieces by the void wind. Even a void pierce stage ferocious beast will definitely die after entering the wind eye. Each of the pill refinement masters could not help but swallow their saliva. Masters, please follow behind me carefully. Don't stray too far away from me. With the protection of my abilities, you won't be in any danger when you enter the wind eye of the void. If anyone leaves my side and dies in the wind eye, I'm afraid I won't be able to save them in time even if I want to. As soon as the bamboo sovereign finished speaking, he flicked his sleeves again. Countless rays of green light rolled up and carried everyone into the wind eye of the void. A long tunnel was formed in the wind eye which led straight to the other side of the void. At the end of the void tunnel stood a gigantic door of void light. This door was actually made of the realm-breaking light. Without a token, no one could enter the light door. The bamboo sovereign took out a green bamboo token and waved it at the door. The door trembled and shone brightly. Countless rays of light shot out and engulfed everyone at the scene. At the next moment, everyone entered the world inside the light door. It was a world of bamboo that stretched as far as the eye could see. At the center of this world, there was a gigantic ancestral bamboo that towered into the sky. Countless layers of seals were placed on the ancestral bamboo. Even so, it was rumored that the ancestral bamboo still had an extremely heavy ferocious chi. The sky was filled with emerald green bamboo leaves. Even the clouds were green in color and carried the fragrance of bamboo. Ning Fan spread his spirit sense. The wood's spiritual chi in this world was extremely dense. It was the best place to cultivate wood elemental cultivation methods. After entering this world, he felt a sense of comfort in his body and blood. The reason why his body felt so comfortable was because there was an ancestral bamboo growing in this place. Ning Fan's minor 5 elements physique had improved a lot after he devoured the barbaric dragon tree previously. The ancestral bamboo that grew in this place contained countless times more wood spiritual chi than the barbaric dragon tree. If it wasn't because of the bamboo sovereign's supervision, he almost wanted to snatch the ancestral bamboo away and devour it to improve the wood elemental constitution of his minor 5 elements physique. At the same time, it could also improve his rain intent to an extremely terrifying level. It's not difficult to attain the first grade. Should I snatch the ancestral bamboo away? The thought of snatching the ancestral bamboo rose in Ning Fan's mind. However, he dismissed it at the next moment. The bamboo sovereign was watching this place, and there was also a third heavenly layer void fragmentation realm tree spirit inside the ancestral bamboo. If Ning Fan wants to snatch the ancestral bamboo, he would first have to fight the bamboo sovereign and the tree spirit. His chances of winning would be slim. Moreover, Ning Fan had received a favor from Yu Huang before. Yu Huang's identity was the former bamboo sovereign. With this relationship, Ning Fan could not do something like snatching the treasures from the bamboo palace. The reason why his bloodline felt so comfortable was because he possessed the Fu Li demon blood. According to what Ning Fan knew, this ancestral bamboo was planted by a certain bamboo sovereign. The ferocious beast Niali was suppressed beneath it. Niali was once a Fu Li, but he was no longer a Fu Li. He had lost all of his bloodline. The members of the Niali clan were the slaves of the Fu Li clan for generations. Unless they break the seal of sin, their status as slaves would never disappear. Standing in the bamboo world, Ning Fan felt as if he could hear the Niali that was suppressed beneath this land calling him, "This place is the bamboo world. That towering tree is the ancestral bamboo. I've set countless seals on the ancestral bamboo. The tree's spirit inside cannot escape and it won't harm any grandmasters. Grandmasters, please get close to the ancestral bamboo and use your spirit sense and medicine soul to diagnose its illness." The bamboo sovereign suddenly paused halfway through his words. His words were interrupted by the urgent ringing of the sound transmission jade in his storage pouch. The bamboo sovereign took out the sound transmission jade. As soon as he heard the voice transmission from it, his expression remained unchanged but his eyes were filled with astonishment. He turned his head and gave a few instructions to the sixth elder and King Bai Li. After that, he apologized to all the pill refinement masters including Ning Fan. "I'm sorry. Some unforeseen events have happened in Jishui City. The palace lord and the elders don't know how to deal with it, so they ordered me to return to handle it. I'll leave the bamboo world for now. There are 2 elders here who will be responsible for protecting all the grandmasters. After I'm done with the mundane affairs in the city, I'll return here to fetch all of you back to the bamboo palace. During this period of time, I hope that all of you can work together to diagnose the cause of the illness of the ancestral bamboo and come up with a solution to cure it." As soon as the bamboo sovereign finished speaking, he did not say anything else to the others. In a flash, he returned to where he came from and vanished without a trace. He was not worried that the group of pill refinement masters would plot against the ancestral bamboo. He was also not worried that the ancestral bamboo would hurt them. The countless seals that he had personally planted were enough to seal the ancestral bamboo's tree spirit, preventing it from harming the pill refinement masters here. He left the sixth elder and King Bai Li behind to keep an eye on the pill refinement masters. Even though there were people from other parts of the tree ocean, they were all void refinement realm and divine transformation realm cultivators. Thus, they could not play any tricks under the eyes of the 2 elders. The bamboo sovereign had left. The moment the bamboo sovereign left, the uneasiness that had been lingering in Ning Fan's heart reached its peak. At this moment, Jishui City was in an unprecedented and strange turmoil. At the same time, there was also a huge change in the bamboo world. Die! King Bai Li's eyes suddenly turned blood-red. He raised his right palm and it turned into a blood-red tiger claw. He launched a surprise attack at the sixth elder's back. The strength of that claw was comparable to a void fragmentation realm attack. Under the sneak attack, the sixth elder, Ling Zhu, was caught off guard. He was directly struck by King Bai Li's claw and suffered severe injuries. Like a kite with a broken string, he fell from the sky. After stabilizing his body with great difficulty, Ling Zhu swallowed the sweet blood in his throat and glared at King Bai Li with extreme shock and anger. "Eighth elder, what do you mean by this?" Not long after the bamboo sovereign left, King Bai Li suddenly attacked and severely injured the sixth elder. His attack seemed to be well prepared. It was as if he already knew that the bamboo sovereign would leave due to some matters and gave him a chance to launch a sneak attack on the sixth elder. Ning Fan's eyes flashed with surprise. All along, he had always thought that King Bai Li was only plotting against him. That was why he did all those strange things. At the moment when the bamboo sovereign left, he had been keeping his guard up against King Bai Li. He was afraid that King Bai Li would join forces with the sixth elder to attack him. However, he did not expect that King Bai Li's first target was not him but Ling Zhu, who was also an elder of the tree ocean. Ning Fan was not the only one who could not figure out King Bai Li's motive. Even Ling Zhu, who was the victim of the sneak attack, was shocked and dumbfounded. Ling Zhu could not figure out why King Baili would attack him. He did not have any grudges with King Baili. Moreover, if King Baili attacks Ning Fan, it would only be considered as a personal grudge. Even if King Baili kills Ning Fan, the Bamboo Sovereign would only reprimand King Baili. However, if King Baili attacks Ning Fan, who was the 8th elder, the nature of the matter would be different. No matter what, the Bamboo Sovereign would not forgive King Baili for harming his colleague in the Bamboo Palace. Why did you sneak attack me? Give me a reason. Ling Zhu questioned furiously. While they were talking, Ling Zhu secretly swallowed a healing pill to heal the injuries in his body. He was also on guard against King Baili's next attack. As for the reason, I was ordered by my master to kill all the cultivators in this world, unseal the spirit of the ancestral bamboo, release the ferocious beasts of the evil fire tribe, overturn the eastern bamboo and annihilate the bamboo palace. This is the reason why I attacked you. You can die now. Killing intent rose in King Baili's eyes. He sneered like a cold-blooded killer. However, in the deepest part of his eyes, there was a trace of struggle and pain. He didn't want to hurt anyone in the Bamboo Palace. He didn't want to betray the Bamboo Palace. He didn't want to bring shame to Baili, but he couldn't control his body. His body obeyed his master's order to kill everyone in this world. His heart couldn't resist. He was like a puppet that was being controlled by someone. All his words and actions were under the surveillance of his master. His situation was even worse than a puppet. A puppet didn't have memories and couldn't feel sorrow. He had memories and consciousness. He was once controlled by someone like a puppet, killing all his clansmen and turning them into living puppets. At that moment, he was in so much pain that he wished he was dead. He was ordered by his master to send assassins to assassinate Ning Fan. However, he still retained some consciousness and didn't completely carry out his master's order. The assassins he sent didn't have the strength to kill Ning Fan. The assassins he sent were just people who were going to die. Those assassins were all living puppets. They were all his clansmen. Just like him, they were being controlled by someone who was neither dead nor alive. There was only one motive for him to send his clansmen to their deaths. It was to let his clansmen who had become living puppets obtain freedom after death. Baili King looked at Ning Fan again. His eyes were filled with a trace of pleading. He wanted Ning Fan to kill him and free him. However, this sentence went against his master's will. Thus, he couldn't say it out loud. He had sent out battle invitations several times, hinting Ning Fan to kill his clansmen and himself. At this moment, what Baili King wanted was to die in Ning Fan's hands and escape from the fate of being a living puppet. However, his body didn't listen to his command. It rushed towards Ling Zhu. He raised his hand and took out a gigantic millstone magic treasure, swearing to kill Ling Zhu on the spot. You're courting death. Baili. Even though you have the unrivaled origin returning realm cultivation base, it's still wishful thinking to kill a void fragmentation realm expert like me. Ling Zhu was so angry that he laughed. He raised his hand and took out a golden horsetail whisk, preparing to counterattack Baili King. Each of the pill refinement masters didn't even dare to breathe loudly. All of them retreated thousands of li away from the battle between the two of them. The feeling of uneasiness in Ning Fan's heart became stronger. At the moment when Ling Zhu took out the golden horsetail whisk, Sun Yu, who had been staying still all this while, suddenly rushed towards Ling Zhu's back. He held a silver jade slip in his hand and smashed it. At the next moment, an illusory silhouette of a silver-haired old man flew out from the silver jade slip. The moment the silver-haired old man appeared, Ning Fan's alarm reached its peak. The silver-haired old man didn't even look at Ning Fan. Perhaps, in his opinion, the person who needed to be killed the most was not Ning Fan but Ling Zhu. Morning technique, birth centipede. The silver-haired old man pointed his finger at Ling Zhu's back. His appearance was out of Ling Zhu's expectation. The power of the silver-haired old man's finger turned into countless silver threads and pierced into the flesh on Ling Zhu's back. At the moment when the threads pierced into Ling Zhu's back, those threads seemed to have turned into blood-sucking leeches, sucking away half of his primordial spirit power. Ling Zhu was already severely injured. After losing half of his primordial spirit power, his qi immediately weakened. He painfully activated his horsetail whisk magic treasure to repel Bai Li King's millstone. Then, he turned around and glared at the silver-haired old man. Wan Changkong. It's you. I wonder which part of your primordial spirit is here today. You don't need to know. The silver-haired old man suddenly pulled the silver threads, sucking away all of Ling Zhu's primordial spirit power. At the next moment, Ling Zhu's eyes turned hollow. He turned into a puppet that looked like a walking corpse and knelt before the silver-haired old man in the sky. Ling Zhu was unwilling. There was a strong sense of unwillingness in the depths of his soul. He was unwilling to kneel before Wan Changkong. However, his will could not be transmitted to his body. The moment he turned into a puppet, he had already become Wan Changkong's puppet. He no longer had the ability to resist. He's Wan Changkong. He's the puppet sovereign of the West Tree Sea, Wan Changkong. He has 12 void fragmentation realm clones. The Azure Life Tree Lord was shocked. Puppet Sovereign. It's such a long time ago. I didn't expect someone in the tree world to still remember it. The silver-haired old man smiled coldly. He activated the countless thin puppet threads between his fingers. Beside him stood the 3 puppets of Bai Li King, Sun Yu and Ling Zhu. As for Zhu Hong, who was standing with the other pill refinement masters, he let out a loud laugh and flew to the back of the silver-haired old man. Elder Wan, you still need to borrow the power of my medicine soul to unseal the ferocious beast Niali. Now, you need to protect me well. I don't need to do anything about the matter of killing the pill refinement masters here, right? Zhu Hong asked with a smile. You don't need to do anything. With one of my fragmented primordial spirit clones guarding this place, it's enough to sweep through all of them. The silver-haired old man's eyes suddenly shifted to Ning Fan and said with a cold smile. You are Liu Bei. Ting Xianrou was captured by you? I'm very curious. With your mere void refinement realm cultivation base, how did you manage to capture Ting Xianrou, who is at the void fragmentation realm? Your strength shouldn't be weak, right? Hee. Chi. Chi.at. The moment when Wan Changkong sneered, countless silver threads suddenly appeared beneath the feet of all the pill refinement masters. Each of the 5th revolution and 6th revolution pill refinement masters did not even have a chance to resist. All of them were pierced by the threads. In just an instant, all the pill refinement masters except Ning Fan had their primordial spirits and demon souls destroyed by Wan Changkong, turning them into living puppets that were neither dead nor alive. Ning Fan was the only one who seemed to have sensed the appearance of the threads the moment they appeared. He quickly retreated. At the same time, black devil flames wrapped around his body, burning all the threads that got close to him into ashes, preventing him from being turned into a puppet by Wan Changkong. Even though he managed to escape the attack, Ning Fan's heart was still filled with astonishment. If he had been a little slower in retreating just now, he would have been turned into a living puppet by Wan Changkong just like the other pill refinement masters. He stared at the silver-haired old man coldly. His eyes were unprecedentedly solemn. This person was Wan Changkong, the mad devil who massacred the Nether Luo clan 10,000 years ago. From the words of the vast sea tree lord, Ning Fan learned that Wan Changkong had 12 void fragmentation realm clones and the one in front of him was one of them. This Wan Changkong's ability is really terrifying. What kind of ability is it exactly? Oh. You actually managed to block a strike from me? Interesting. However, I wonder if you can block a strike from it. Wan Changkong sneered and moved the threads between his fingers. Then, he took out a purifying bottle magic treasure and held it in the air. At the next moment, a ferocious and bloodthirsty roar suddenly resounded from the ancestral bamboo in the distance. A drop of fiery red liquid was placed in the purifying bottle magic treasure. As the bottle was tilted, the fiery red liquid dripped onto the gigantic ancestral bamboo. The seals on the entire ancestral bamboo suddenly burned and were all destroyed. At this moment, the insane tree spirit that was sealed in the ancestral bamboo was freed. On the entire ancestral bamboo, countless branches turned into devil hands and devil eyes grew on countless bamboo leaves. The ancestral bamboo rose from the ground and turned into a gigantic tree devil with a third heavenly layer void fragmentation realm cultivation base. At the moment when it turned into a devil, it suddenly knelt down in Wan Changkong's direction. He was also Wan Changkong's biological puppet. 10,000 years ago, the tree spirit of the ancestral bamboo went crazy. However, it was not because he had gone mad but because he was turned into a puppet by Wan Changkong. Zhu Hong, Ling Zhu, Bai Li, Sun Yu, go and unseal the 4 ferocious beasts under the bamboo world. I want to bring this tree devil who is at the 3rd fragmentation realm and exchange a few blows with little friend Liu Bei. Kill him slowly. At this moment, Jishui City was in a state of chaos. Countless cultivators were killing each other. Blood flowed like a river. 11 silver-haired old men who looked exactly the same were hiding in different places of my country, coldly watching the battle between the cultivators. Chapter 593. With a flash, the Bamboo Emperor descended from the sky dome and appeared in the sky above Jishui City. When he witnessed the tragic scene in Jishui City with his own eyes, he couldn't contain his shock. What's going on? The Bamboo Emperor received a voice transmission from a cultivator in the Bamboo Hall, claiming that a large number of cultivators were fighting in Jishui City. He hurried back to Jishui City and saw a large number of cultivators killing each other in Jishui City. Hundreds of Divine Transformation Realm and Void Refinement Realm cultivators from the western, southern, and northern tree seas were slaughtering wantonly on Jishui Long Street. These people all had blood-red eyes, and they would kill anyone they saw. If they encountered a low-level cultivator, they would kill them with a wave of their hand. If they encountered cultivators of the same cultivation realm, they would self-detonate without a care and perish together with the other party. The Bamboo Emperor would not have been so shocked if it was just cultivators from the other forest ocean killing people in Jishui. What shocked the Bamboo Emperor the most was that many of the Eastern Tree Seas tree clans that belonged to the Bamboo Hall were also slaughtering wantonly in Jishui City, even killing their own clansmen. Even the god envoys, venerated elders, and hall masters of the Bamboo Hall were madly attacking the cultivators of the Bamboo Hall. The Bamboo Emperor led a group of pill refiners to the forbidden area of the bamboo world, and it only took 4 hours. In the 4 hours after he left Jishui, a great change happened to Jishui. The 8th branch of the Bamboo Hall, inside the Evil Bamboo Hall. At this moment, Temple Master Evil Bamboo's eyes were blood-red as he waved his butcher's knife to kill the elders and divine messengers in the temple. He was once a benevolent elder with a void-pierced stage cultivation base. He was once trusted and respected by his subordinates in the palace. But at this moment, he was waving his butcher knife and chopping his subordinates into minced meat. His eyes no longer had the slightest hint of benevolence, only bloodthirsty madness. His eyes were filled with deep pain and reluctance. He couldn't bear to kill his subordinates, but he couldn't control his body at all. He could only watch helplessly as his former subordinates died by his own hands. At this moment, he was a living puppet. He had his own consciousness, but he was being controlled by someone else. It's Wan Changkong. Wan Changkong was the one who manipulated me and made me kill my subordinates. Stop right now. Kill me, who will kill me? He cried out in pain from the bottom of his heart, but no one could hear him. In the end, he had slaughtered all the revered elders and divine envoys of the entire Evil Bamboo Palace. A beautiful woman in blue entered the Fiend Bamboo Palace and looked at the Fiend Bamboo Palace Lord in disbelief. Looking at the corpses on the ground, her eyes were filled with anger and disappointment. Husband, why did you do this? Why? Now that Jishui City has suddenly fallen into chaos, I was worried that you would be in danger. I didn't expect you to do such a crazy thing and kill all the cultivators in the palace. Why did you do this? This woman was Temple Master Sha Zhu's Dao companion and the love of his life. She did not understand why her husband would suddenly go crazy and kill all the cultivators in the hall. Lian, run. Run. Hall Master Sha Zhu wanted to tell the beautiful woman to run, but he couldn't make a sound. His heart was filled with anxiety, but his face had a numb and bloodthirsty expression. Chi. The butcher's knife slashed down and the beautiful woman was split into two halves. Even her demon soul did not manage to escape. Hall Master Evil Bamboo's heart was bleeding, and he was filled with grief and indignation. He couldn't control his body and could only watch helplessly as he killed his beloved wife with his own hands. Wan Changkong. I'm going to tear you into 10,000 pieces. Tear you into 10,000 pieces. Lian, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hall Master Evil Bamboo wanted to cry out in pain but he could not make any sound. He could not say anything that went against Wan Changkong's will. Outside the palace where the Cypress Star clan was stationed, layers of formation light were activated. Those formations were personally set up by the old ancestor of the Cypress Star clan. It was enough to defend against the attacks of ordinary Absolute Void stage experts. Inside the palace, a young man with green pupils was organizing the members of the Cypress Star clan to resist the riot in Jishui City. This young man was the young clan leader of the Cypress Star clan. He was the one who had received the order to pass the invitation to Ning Fan that day. Young lord. I have already found out the reason for the chaos in Jishui City. Currently, there are 3,749 cultivators in Jishui City who suddenly went crazy and are killing wantonly in the city. Those who went crazy include cultivators from the other Trees Sea, members of the Tree Clan from our Eastern Trees Sea and even cultivators from the Bamboo Palace. Among them, there are a total of 69 Void Refinement Realm cultivators. The reason why they went crazy is unknown. Should we immediately report this to the old ancestor? A few Void Glimpse stage-old monsters knelt in front of the young man with green pupils. Their expressions were unusually respectful. The old ancestor they were talking about was the third elder of the Bamboo Palace. He was a dignified cultivator at the first heavenly layer of the Void Fragmentation Realm. The old ancestor is the third elder of the Bamboo Palace. Now that Jishui City is in chaos, the old ancestor must be leading his people to deal with the chaos in the city. How about this? Send a voice transmission to the old ancestor about all the information that you have found out. Perhaps it will be helpful to the old ancestor in quelling the chaos in Jishui City. Just as the young man with green pupils finished speaking, a guard suddenly entered the main hall and reported loudly. Young lord, there are hundreds of members of the Baili clan outside the hall. They said that they want to see you. Please remove the formation light of the palace and come out to meet them. People of the Baili clan, huh? Did they say why they want to see me? They didn't say it clearly. The guard said while shaking his head. They didn't say it clearly. Hee. I have received information that someone witnessed some of the members of the Baili clan participating in the chaos in Jishui City. They killed thousands of cultivators on the long street. Now, it's hard to tell whose friend or foe is in Jishui City. Anyone might suddenly go crazy and become the enemy. The members of the Baili clan want to see me but they didn't say their purpose clearly. This is very suspicious. Pass on my order. Quickly reinforce the formation light of the palace. Don't let the members of the Baili clan enter the hall. I suspect that all of them have gone crazy and come with bad intentions. Yes. I will pass on the order to reinforce the formation light of the palace right now. Just as the guard was about to pass on the order to reinforce the formation light, a green light suddenly floated in the main hall. An old man with green pupils appeared. He was the third elder of the Bamboo Palace. The third elder seemed to have heard the words of the young man with green pupils. He nodded satisfactorily and praised him. Xing Heir, you are indeed the most outstanding member of the younger generation of our Cypress Star clan. You can see that the members of the Baili clan have come with bad intentions at first glance. Your guess is right. All the members of the Bailey clan are enemies and can't be let into the hall at will. You know that the members of the Bailey clan aren't crazy. All the rioters in Jishui City aren't crazy either. All the rioters in the city are controlled by others. They are refined into puppets and are ordered to cause chaos in Jishui City. Their purpose is to destroy the bamboo palace. This is a premeditated action. What? They aren't crazy, but they are refined into puppets. The young man with green pupils and the other members of the Cypress Star clan were shocked when they heard the words of the third elder. However, they suppressed their shock and bowed respectfully to the third elder. Greetings, old ancestor. After that, the young man with green pupils calmed his mind and asked, Old ancestor, are you saying that the chaos in Jishui City today is a trap carefully arranged by someone? These rioters aren't crazy, but they are controlled and become puppets. They deliberately gathered in Jishui City in order to destroy the bamboo palace in one fell swoop. But how is this possible? The rioters this time are all living people. This is absolutely true. How can they be puppets? Ordinary puppets were dead things. Some puppets were refined from the corpses of dead people and dead beasts. Some puppets were made from metal, wood, and other materials. No matter what method was used to make the puppets, they all had one thing in common: none of the puppets had life. They were all dead puppets. The breath of the dead puppet was very different from the breath of a living person. It was impossible for a cultivator who had reached the spirit severing or void refinement realm to not be able to distinguish the difference between a dead puppet and a living person. The cultivation of the young man with green pupils wasn't high, but he could also see that the rioters in the city were all living people. It was impossible for them to be dead puppets. Besides, if these people were dead puppets, how could they pass the inspection of the experts of the bamboo palace and enter Jishui City? You don't know this. These people aren't dead puppets, but living puppets. The so-called living puppets refer to the puppets refined from living people. The living puppet technique is a lost puppet technique. The rioters this time are all living puppets. Their breath is no different from a living person. That's why the bamboo palace didn't notice them when they sneaked into Jishui City. Even the bamboo emperor has never seen a living puppet with his own eyes. How could he know that there are so many puppets hidden among the cultivators who entered the city? It's hard to detect a real living puppet even if it's standing right in front of you. Of course, this batch of living puppets was forcibly refined using a secret technique. It wasn't refined through the regular way. All of the living puppets don't have primordial spirit or demon soul in their bodies. It's very simple to distinguish whether the cultivators in the city are human or puppet. You just need to see if there's primordial spirit or demon soul in their bodies. By the way, this old man doesn't have primordial spirit or demon soul in my body. Chi. 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 Suddenly, the third elder's eyes turned blood red. He launched a violent attack, starting a massacre in the palace of the Cypress Star clan. His eyes were cold and heartless, but deep in his heart, there was a deep sorrow. He was also a living puppet refined by Wan Changkong. At the moment when he was killed, the green-eyed youth still couldn't believe that his family's old ancestor would suddenly make a move and kill the Cypress Star clan. All the dead Cypress Star clan members looked at the third elder in disbelief before they died. They didn't believe that the old ancestor whom they respected and admired would actually wield a butcher's knife against them. The third elder's heart was bleeding. He actually slaughtered his own clansmen with his own hands. This generation's Cypress Star young master was one of his favorite juniors. But at this moment, he couldn't control his own body and blasted the Cypress Star young master into powder. Among the Cypress Star clan members here, several of them were his direct descendants. They were connected by blood, and all of them died in his hands. Among these clansmen, there was even one who was the grandson of his benefactor, but he was also killed by him. Kill, kill, kill. All the clansmen died in his hands. Wan Changkong. Wan Changkong. Wan Changkong. The third elder couldn't wait to tear the traitor who controlled him into pieces, but he couldn't control his own body at all. He raised his hand to destroy the formation light of the entire palace. With boundless hatred in his heart, he followed the clansmen of the Baili clan outside the palace and started a massacre in Jishui City. The first palace of Bamboo Palace, Hengzhou Palace. The vice palace master of Hengzhou Palace joined forces and massacred the entire Hengzhou Palace. They were all Wan Changkong's living puppets. The second palace of Bamboo Palace, Scarlet Bamboo Palace. This palace was attacked by 13 Void Refinement Realm Tree clan members, and blood flowed like a river. There were also the third, fourth and fifth palaces. When the Bamboo Emperor stood in the sky above Jishui City, he was deeply shocked by the scene in front of him. He didn't know how to solve this chaos. Who was the enemy? Who was the friend? No one knew. No one knew whose conspiracy this chaos was. Blood flowed like a river in every palace of Bamboo Palace. The forces of Jishui City fought against each other. More and more people suddenly went crazy and killed their own clansmen. This chaos started from Jishui City and spread to the entire my country. The Bamboo Emperor's sound transmission jade kept ringing. It was the distress signal from the cultivation cities and the forces of the Tree clan in my country. In the northern region of my country, in a restaurant in the Heavenly Tree City, the Void Inquiry Stage City Lord of this city was originally drinking and chatting with a few of his good friends. All of a sudden, his eyes turned blood red. He took out his magic treasure and directly hit the top of the head of one of his good friends, killing him. After that, the city lord seemed to have gone mad and started a massacre in the Heavenly Tree City. At the same time, tens of thousands of cultivators in the Heavenly Tree City went crazy and killed people everywhere. No one knew that when the city lord of the Heavenly Tree City killed his friend, even though his expression was cold and merciless, his heart was filled with grief and indignation. Wan Changkong. You and I are irreconcilable enemies. I won't rest until one of us is dead. Ah. In the western region of my country, in the Wood Creation clan, old man Zhao Mu, who had a Void Pierce stage cultivation base, was teaching his disciples the art of weapon refinement. His tone was kind and amiable. He was a famous master of weapon refinement in the Eastern Tree Sea. He had always been known to treat people with respect and humility. However, at a certain moment, his eyes suddenly turned blood red and he lost all of his rationality. He waved his butcher knife and killed all of his disciples one by one. After that, tens of thousands of members of the Wood Creation clan went crazy at the same time. They followed old man Zhao Mu and started a massacre in the clan. Then, he waved his butcher knife at the other members of the Tree clan. No one knew that the moment old man Zhao Mu killed his beloved disciple, he felt as if his heart was being sliced into pieces. Wan Changkong. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you. In the eastern region of my country, a palace lord of the Bamboo Palace was patrolling the eastern region with his subordinates to meet the leaders of the 7 Tree clans. He had an absolute void stage cultivation base and had always been loyal to the Bamboo Palace. He was a cultivator of the righteous path and had never killed the innocent. However, all of a sudden, his eyes turned blood red and he lost all of his rationality. Then, he started killing the divine envoys and revered elders of the Bamboo Palace behind him. He even self-detonated his physical body and killed all the leaders of the 7 Tree clans, perishing together with them. Among the leaders of the 7 Tree clans, one of them was his master, Great Heaven City, Extreme Wood City, Wind Leaf Clan. Each of the Tree clans in each of the cultivation cities sent a shocking message to the Bamboo sovereign through telepathy. It was not just Jishui City. The entire my country was in turmoil. At this moment, there were nearly 10 million cultivators in my country who went crazy and started a massacre at the same time. Elders, where are you? Come and see me at once. Follow me to quell the chaos in my. The Bamboo sovereign shouted loudly in the sky above Jishui City. His voice was like a thunderclap that contained shocking anger. It was unknown how many cultivators of the bamboo palace had died in the chaos in my today. The bamboo sovereign swore that if he found out who was the one who planned this, he would certainly tear that person into 1,000 pieces. The 6th elder and the 8th elder were still in the bamboo world. Now, there were only 6 void fragmentation realm elders in Jishui city whom he could trust. The bamboo sovereign gave an order and his voice spread across the entire city. 6 rays of light rushed into the sky at the same time and turned into 6 void fragmentation realm old men. They stood in front of the bamboo sovereign. These 6 void fragmentation realm elders naturally included the 3rd elder who had been reduced to a living puppet. 6 elders, follow me to quell this chaos. I want to find the mastermind behind this chaos and tear that person into 1,000 pieces. As soon as the bamboo sovereign gave his order, the great elder, the 5th elder and the 7th elder immediately voiced their agreement. Their eyes were filled with anger. They wished they could find the mastermind behind this chaos. However, the other 3 void fragmentation realm elders wore a blank expression. They were not moved by the bamboo sovereign's order at all. Even the 2nd elder and 3rd elder who had always obeyed the bamboo emperor sneered as they looked at the bamboo emperor, and they spoke with slight disdain. Your Majesty bamboo sovereign, things have already come to this. Do you still not know who the mastermind behind this chaos is? Boom! 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 11 rays of silver light suddenly appeared out of nowhere and shot towards the bamboo sovereign's back. The attack appeared without any warning. As soon as the 11 silver light pillars appeared, they immediately dispersed into silver threads that filled the sky. An extreme sense of danger suddenly rose in the bamboo sovereign's heart. The bamboo sovereign suddenly turned around and pointed his finger. Countless golden bamboo leaves appeared in the sky and condensed into a giant golden palm, slapping towards the silver threads that filled the sky. A single slap dispersed the silver threads that filled the sky. However, at this moment, the 2nd elder, the 3rd elder and the 4th elder, the 3 void fragmentation realm old monsters suddenly attacked at the same time. They attacked the bamboo sovereign's back with strong killing intent. Purple axe, silver bell, treasure tree, the 3 magic treasures launched a sneak attack when the bamboo sovereign was exhausted. At this moment, the bamboo sovereign was busy defending against the silver threads that filled the sky. How could he expect that the 2nd elder and the others would join hands to launch a sneak attack? The 3 attacks hit the bamboo sovereign's back at the same time, causing serious damage to his abdomen and back, causing him to spit out a mouthful of blood. The bamboo sovereign's eyes were filled with shock and anger. He suddenly turned around and shot out countless golden lights from his finger, shattering the 3 magic treasures. He then stared at the 2nd elder and the others furiously. The bamboo sovereign had refined a mysterious immortal treasure armor to protect his body. Moreover, he was a body cultivator at the 1st heavenly layer of the Nirvana realm. Even if he was ambushed in a hurry, it was impossible for him to be killed by 3 cultivators at the 1st and 2nd heavenly layer of the void fragmentation realm. His injuries were not light, but it was still within the range that he could suppress. His eyes were filled with boundless anger. This anger was not because of his injuries but because he was betrayed by his most trusted subordinates. How dare you all betray me? Why? Give me a reason. Reason? There is only one reason. We are the living slaves of Lord Wan Changkong. As long as he gives the order, we can take action at any time and destroy the bamboo hall. The 2nd elder and the other 2 void fragmentation realm old monsters answered in a stupefied manner. At the same time when the 3 of them spoke, the illusory figures of 11 silver-haired old men appeared in the sky one after another. Each of them stood high up in the sky. Each of these 11 people had a cultivation base at the 1st heavenly layer of the void fragmentation realm. Their aura force was terrifying. The 11 of them stood high up in the sky. Their aura force was not much weaker than the bamboo sovereign's. Your Majesty bamboo sovereign, it has been 10,000 years since we last met, right? Do you still remember me? The 11 silver-haired old men asked coldly. It's you. Wan Changkong. You are the mastermind behind Mu Ye's chaos today. The bamboo sovereign roared furiously. The mastermind this time isn't Wan Changkong. It's me. The Bamboo Hall and the Vine Hall have been enemies for generations. Today, I have been planning to destroy the Bamboo Hall for a long time. 7 Void Fragmentation Realm experts suddenly appeared in the sky one after another. Among the 7 of them, the leader was wearing rattan armor. His body was flowing with the aura force of the 5th heavenly layer of the Void Fragmentation Realm. He was a middle-aged man with a dignified appearance. His eyes were flashing with a strange purple light. He was the Vine Sovereign. Vine Sovereign. It's you. The Bamboo Sovereign's eyes narrowed. The anger on his face gradually faded and was replaced by a solemn expression. If Wan Changkong was the only one who intervened today, he still had a way to calm the chaos. However, if the Vine Sovereign was the one who intervened today, the Bamboo Hall would be in chaos. Everyone would be betrayed and they would not be able to resist the Vine Hall. Today, the Bamboo Hall would probably face a great calamity. Vine Sovereign, you and I are both cultivators of the tree world. Even if the 2 halls have been enemies for generations, there is no need for us to go so far as to destroy the entire hall, right? The Bamboo Sovereign said while gritting his teeth. Cut the crap. The reason why I came here is to trample on the flat Bamboo Hall in the East Sea. From today onwards, there will no longer be a Bamboo Hall or a Bamboo Sovereign in the tree world. Kill. The Vine Sovereign's eyes were filled with killing intent. His plan today could be said to be perfect. The Bamboo Sovereign could not do anything alone. He would certainly die. The Bamboo Hall would certainly be destroyed. Chapter 594. The troops that the Vine Sovereign had brought to the Eastern Forest Sea were all elites. There were a total of 1,000 Void Glimpse stage spiritual puppets in his hands. All of them were refined by Wan Changkong. Nearly 50 Void Refinement Realm puppet masters of the Vine Palace were controlling 1,000 spiritual puppets. At this moment, they were working together with the 10 million life puppet realm cultivators of Muyi country to massacre Muyi. This was a calamity that could topple the entire Eastern Forest Sea. As for himself, he brought 6 Void Fragmentation Realm subordinates and 11 Void Fragmentation Realm clones of Wan Changkong to personally go to Ji Shui to take the life of the Bamboo Sovereign. My country was in chaos, and the cultivators of the Bamboo Hall were either killed or turned into living corpses, becoming accomplices of the Vine Hall. At this moment, there were only 3 Void Fragmentation Realm experts that the Bamboo Sovereign could mobilize, the Great Elder who was at the 3rd heavenly layer of the Void Fragmentation Realm, the 5th Elder and 7th Elder who were at the 1st heavenly layer of the Void Fragmentation Realm. This was the best opportunity to kill the Bamboo Sovereign and destroy the Bamboo Hall. For this opportunity, the Vine Sovereign had painstakingly planned for 10,000 years. Kill. As soon as the Vine Sovereign gave the order, the 6 Void Fragmentation Realm old monsters behind her were filled with killing intent. In a flash, they split into 2 groups and attacked the 5th Elder of the Bamboo Palace. Among these 6 Void Fragmentation Realm old monsters of the Vine Palace were the big-headed Void Fragmentation Realm old monsters and the Tree Demon who had chased after Ning Fan before. Among the 6 Void Fragmentation Realm experts of the Vine Palace, one of them was an expert at the 2nd heavenly layer of the Void Fragmentation Realm while the rest were at the 1st heavenly layer of the Void Fragmentation Realm. 6 old monsters at the 1st and 2nd heavenly layer of the Void Fragmentation Realm besieging the 5th Elder who was merely at the 1st heavenly layer of the Void Fragmentation Realm. Needless to say, it would not take too long for them to kill the 5th Elder and cut off one of the Bamboo Sovereign's helpers. 5th Elder, be careful. The 1st Elder and the 7th Elder saw that the 5th Elder was being besieged, and their faces were filled with shock and anger, wanting to help. At this moment, Wan Changkong's 11 Void Fragmentation Realm clones sneered coldly and surrounded the 3rd heavenly layer Void Fragmentation Realm Great Elder. At the same time, the 2nd Elder, the 3rd Elder, and the 4th Elder, who had been reduced to living puppets, attacked together and surrounded the seventh elder. Why did the three of you betray Bamboo Hall? Give this old man a reason. The seventh elder was filled with righteous indignation. He glared at the three void fragmentation elders who had betrayed the bamboo palace. He didn't know that these three elders had already become Wan Changkong's slaves since a long time ago, and they only had no choice but to swing their swords at their own people. The three void fragmentation realm living puppets naturally wouldn't care about the seventh elder's anger. One after another, they launched their magic techniques at the seventh elder mercilessly. Third elder and fourth elder were first demolishers, and second elder was a second demolisher. It was only a matter of time before the three of them worked together to kill the seventh elder. Damn it! Three void fragmentation realm elders had betrayed the palace. Countless cultivators of the eastern tree sea had gone mad. Wan Changkong. Let me ask you. All of this was because of you. 10,000 years ago, you entered my eastern forest sea and slaughtered countless people. 10,000 years later, you still dare to plot against my bamboo hall. If I don't kill you, I'm not human. The great elder let out a furious roar. He made a grabbing motion with his hand, and the countless gales between heaven and earth suddenly transformed into 11 dark cyan wind dragons. They charged toward Wan Changkong's 11 clones. The 11 silver-haired old men looked at the wind dragons disdainfully. Each of their fingers were wrapped with countless thin silver threads. All of the silver-haired old men activated the silver threads at the same time. Those silver threads pierced through the sky like lightning and pierced into the bodies of all the wind dragons. All of the 11 wind dragons let out a miserable wail. At the next moment, their eyes turned blood red and they were already under Wan Changkong's control. As the silver threads were activated, all the wind dragons turned back and attacked the great elder. The huge dragons exploded one after another, turning into a cyan storm that soared into the sky. It was mixed with hundreds of millions of wind blades, engulfing the great elder in the raging wind. Chi! 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 The magic technique backfired and the wind blades cut his body. In just an instant, the great elder's body was covered with cuts and bruises. He stood in the middle of the raging wind and took out a treasure banner. With a wave, the treasure banner shone with green light and the wind blades that filled the sky immediately dispersed. After that, the great elder stared at the 11 silver-haired old men with extreme anger and fear. Not only did Wan Changkong make the magic technique backfire on him, he even hid countless silver threads in the wind dragons that backfired. Those silver threads pierced into the great elder's dantian along with the wind blades, directly shattering the profound divine treasure armor that protected his primordial spirit, causing him to lose more than 10% of the primordial spirit's power in his dantian. At that instant, the great elder's heart was filled with an unprecedented sense of life and death. He had to use a self-harming secret technique to eliminate all the silver threads in his body. If he was a little slower, his entire primordial spirit would have been destroyed by Wan Changkong. How dangerous! This is troublesome. This Wan Changkong's divine ability is too astonishing. Moreover, my primordial spirit has already been injured. I'm afraid I'm not his match. The great elder, fifth elder and seventh elder were all in danger. If no one came to rescue them, they might die. The bamboo emperor clenched his fists tightly. He wished he could free himself to save the three elders, but he couldn't. Not far in front of him, the Vine Sovereign stood coldly, confronting him. If his clone went to rescue the three elders, the Vine Sovereign would immediately seize the opportunity to launch a sneak attack on him from the side. The only way to save the three elders was to eliminate the Vine Sovereign, who was watching from the side, in an extremely short period of time. However, this idea was too unrealistic. Even if the Bamboo Emperor was at his peak, his strength could only be on par with the Vine Sovereign. Neither of them could defeat the other. Moreover, the Bamboo Emperor had already suffered a sneak attack from the three life puppet elders, causing him to be severely injured. If he fought with the Vine Sovereign, his chances of winning would be extremely low. Not only would he not be able to kill the Vine Sovereign, but he would also be at a disadvantage and might even be killed by the Vine Sovereign. Destroying my bamboo palace will only weaken the strength of the tree world. What benefits does it bring to your vine palace? Don't tell me you want to be like the rain world, a lonely and tyrannical world that is pitifully weak. If you leave the eastern trees sea and let my bamboo palace live, I can agree to any of your conditions. Let go of my 3 elders. They are loyal to me wholeheartedly. They shouldn't die here. After listening to the bamboo emperor's words, the vine sovereign seemed to have heard something ridiculous. She just sneered and didn't say anything. He did not negotiate with the bamboo emperor, nor did he take the initiative to kill him. Even though the bamboo emperor was injured now, he was still a ferocious tiger. His might was still lingering. Now was not the best time to kill him yet. The vine sovereign was waiting for Wan Changkong and the others to kill the last 3 void fragmentation realm elders of the bamboo palace. The vine sovereign was waiting for Wan Changkong's 12th clone to unseal the 4 ferocious beasts Nyali. Then, he would bring the tree spirit and Nyali to kill the bamboo emperor together. He did not do anything. All he did was wait while staring at the bamboo emperor. As long as the bamboo emperor made any move, he would attack him. Time passed bit by bit. Chaos broke out in Muyi country. More and more cultivators died in Jishui city. Even Jishui city below the city was dyed red by the blood of the corpses. The Great Elder was in a disadvantageous position in the battle against Wan Changkong. His injuries had become extremely serious. The 7th Elder was besieged by 3 void fragmentation realm experts. He had already lost one of his legs and one of his arms. He was barely breathing and was not far from death. The 5th Elder was besieged by 6 void fragmentation realm experts. He was the first one to let out a miserable shriek. Ah! After a miserable shriek, the 5th Elder was killed by the 6 void fragmentation realm experts of the Vine Palace. His corpse fell from the sky. 5th Elder. The bamboo emperor's tiger-like eyes were filled with anger. He could no longer hold back his anger. Sovereign chi surged around his body. He took a huge step forward and punched at the 6 void fragmentation realm experts of the Vine Palace who killed the 5th Elder. The punch was infused with his magic power and sovereign chi, forming a 10,000 zhang large golden fist imprint. It was the furious attack of a 5th heavenly layer void fragmentation realm sovereign expert. When the fist imprint was launched, the flowing clouds within millions of li were reflected in pure gold. That fist imprint contained the anger that the bamboo emperor could not vent out. Its sharpness was unstoppable. Behind the bamboo emperor, a 10,000 zhang large golden shadow suddenly appeared. It was the sovereign shadow. The moment the sovereign shadow appeared, countless cracks appeared in the vast sky. Golden light flowed out from those cracks. The 6 void fragmentation realm experts of the Vine Palace who had just killed the 5th Elder were suddenly attacked by the bamboo emperor. All of their faces were filled with fear. Each of them took out their protective magic treasures and retreated immediately. They did not dare to not retreat. They were just cultivators at the 1st or 2nd heavenly layer of the void fragmentation realm. How would they dare to face the wrath of a sovereign expert head-on? They retreated extremely quickly, but the momentum of that fist mark was even faster. In just an instant, it had crossed countless obstacles and turned the defensive magic treasures of the 6 void fragmentation realm experts into dust. Along the way, 2 void fragmentation realm experts died while the other 4 were severely injured. The void fragmentation realm expert of the Vine Palace who was at the 2nd heavenly layer of the void fragmentation realm was also one of them. You still made a move, hee. The Vine Sovereign's voice suddenly came from behind the bamboo sovereign. She didn't sound angry because her subordinate was killed. Instead, she sounded happy. That joy was because the bamboo emperor revealed a flaw when he attacked to kill the enemy. The Vine Sovereign suddenly appeared behind the bamboo emperor. She held a purple gold dagger axe in her hand and slashed at the bamboo emperor's head. The spear struck during the gap between the bamboo emperor's attacks, so the bamboo emperor had no time to dodge at all. The Bamboo Emperor only had time to turn his body slightly, and the dagger axe had already cut into his flesh. Chi! As the dagger axe slashed down, the Bamboo Emperor's right arm was chopped off. A trace of purple poison seeped into his body from the severed part of his arm. The Bamboo Emperor endured the intense pain and glared at the Vine Sovereign. After retreating a few steps, he stabilized his body. Then, he took a huge step forward and punched out with his left fist, clashing with the Vine Sovereign. Tingunnen! I won't rest until you die. The Bamboo Emperor roared in anger. Hee. One of your arms was crippled by me and you were even poisoned by this yuan-breaking dagger axe. Not only is your vitality greatly damaged, but you can forget about using the sovereign chi in your body. The current you is no longer a match for me. Today, you will definitely die in my hands. Boom! 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 The collision between the Bamboo Emperor and the Vine Sovereign set off destructive waves in the vast sky. Every time they clashed, the Bamboo Emperor's injuries would worsen. However, he still wanted to fight the Vine Sovereign to the death. At the critical moment when the two of them were clashing, the 3 life puppet elders had already succeeded. They killed the 7th elder and captured his corpse. The Bamboo Emperor's eyes were blood-red. He still couldn't understand why the 3 life puppet elders would betray the Bamboo Palace and kill his comrades. Why? Why did all of you betray me? They didn't betray you. Their hearts are still loyal to the Bamboo Palace. However, their bodies have no choice but to obey my orders. It's because they are my living puppets. Refine them. The 11 silver-haired old men who were fighting with the great elder sneered at the same time. After that, the 2 silver-haired old men temporarily retreated from the battle. Each of them activated their silver threads and revived the fallen 5th elder and 7th elder in front of the Bamboo Emperor. The 2 of them also became Wan Changkong's living puppets. In the vast sky, they kowtowed to the 11 silver-haired old men. The Bamboo Emperor and the great elder who witnessed this scene were stunned. Then, they seemed to have understood something and became enraged. No wonder the Void Fragmentation Realm elders who had served the Bamboo Palace for generations would betray the Bamboo Palace. No wonder so many cultivators of the Eastern Tree Sea would go crazy, so Wan Changkong actually had such a method to refine living puppets. Living puppets. Living puppets. You are a living person. I will preserve your consciousness and make you a puppet. Whether you are willing or not, you will be under my control. You are a dead person. I will restore your memory and resurrect you as a puppet. I will deprive you of the right to reincarnation and make you my slave. All the puppets in the world, including those with intelligence, are dead puppets. No matter how profound the puppetry technique is, it is impossible to resurrect a dead person as a puppet. It is also impossible to make a puppet retain the consciousness of a living person. However, in the ancient times, there was a devil race that created the living puppet technique. It was called the Dao Wang clan. The master of the Dao Wang clan was the ancestor of the Northern Heaven immortal world, the ancestral emperor of the Northern Heaven. Most of the secret techniques of the Dao Wang clan, including this living puppet technique, could only be used by those who had cultivated the Dao Wang devil vein. When the members of the Dao Wang clan ignited their bloodline, they would have a chance to cultivate the Dao Wang devil vein. The chance was 1 in 10,000. Only 1 out of 10,000 people could successfully cultivate the Dao Wang devil vein. The rest would fail and die. The Dao Wang clan was too dangerous. After the ancestral emperor of the Northern Heaven passed away, the clan was annihilated by a few Four Heavens experts. It was said that not a single member of the Dao Wang clan was left alive in that battle. Unexpectedly, Wan Changkong was able to use the living puppet technique. Then, his identity was obvious: Wan Changkong. I didn't expect you to be a remnant of the Dao Wang clan. If anyone in the Four Heavens knows your identity, they will definitely kill you. Bamboo Emperor said furiously. Hee. Your Majesty Bamboo Emperor, you really think too highly of me. I'm not a member of the Dao Wang clan. I just swallowed a treasure by chance and accidentally cultivated the Dao Wang Devil Vein, which allowed me to inherit some scattered techniques. However, you have reminded me that no matter whether I'm a member of the Dao Wang clan or not, the fact that I possess the Dao Wang Devil Vein must not be leaked. Otherwise, it might attract the Four Heavens experts to kill me. Since I have told you about the living puppet, I won't let you live. A dead person will keep all my secrets for me. An ominous glint flashed in Wan Changkong's eyes. One of the 11 clones suddenly exploded and shattered into countless silver threads, piercing through the body of the great elder who had a weak aura. In the next moment, the shattered clone reformed. The eyes of the great elder who was pierced by the silver threads gradually turned hollow and turned into one of Wan Changkong's living puppets. Your Majesty Vine Sovereign, there's no need to wait. It won't be difficult for us to kill a dying bamboo emperor if we join hands. Wan Changkong sneered. Good. It's my great fortune to be able to join hands with the Dao Wang Devil Vein. Boom. When the two of them were about to join hands to kill the bamboo emperor, a huge military boot suddenly stomped down from the sky. Hee, you don't mind letting me interfere in this battle of killing the bamboo emperor, right? Boom. With a stomp, one of Wan Changkong's clones was destroyed. Lu Haoyue. How dare you kill my clone? The eyes of the remaining 10 silver-haired old men turned red. Chapter 595. An unprecedented catastrophe was brewing in the entire eastern forest sea. In the bamboo world, Ning Fan was also facing the crisis brought by Wan Changkong and the tree spirit. As Wan Changkong gave an order, Zhu Hong, Ling Zhu, Bai Li King, Sun Yu, and all the pill refinement masters who had become living puppets fled to a golden bamboo mountain millions of li away. In the bamboo world, there were more than 70,000 black bamboo mountains scattered all over the place. Underneath the bamboo world, there was a high-grade immortal void realm grand formation that was suppressing the 4 ferocious beasts. These 70,000 black bamboo mountains were the formation eyes of the grand formation. As for the golden bamboo mountains, they were the source of formation power of all the formation eyes. Layers of medicine soul seals were placed on them. The person who was suppressing the ferocious beasts was a bamboo sovereign of the previous generation. That bamboo sovereign was not only an immortal void realm formation master but also a low-grade 7th revolution pill refinement master. He combined his pill formation techniques into one and set up a grand formation in the bamboo world to suppress the 4 ferocious beasts. In order to break the seal on the ferocious beasts, not only did the person who broke the formation have extraordinary formation techniques, but they also needed a large number of pill refinement masters to provide medicine soul power to break the 7th revolution medicine soul seal on the golden bamboo mountain. Only then would the formation power be exhausted. The Bai Li clan was once responsible for guarding the grand formation and suppressing the ferocious beasts. Every clan leader of the clan was a famous formation master and they knew the grand formation of the bamboo world like the back of their hands. This time, Bai Li King was responsible for breaking the grand formation of the bamboo world while Ling Zhu was responsible for protecting the formation. As for Zhu Hong, Sun Yu, and the other pill refinement masters, they were responsible for breaking the 7th revolution medicine soul seal on the golden bamboo mountain. This time, the bamboo massacre plan was very well planned. The Vine Hall had been planning in the eastern forest sea since 10,000 years ago. Everything was going according to the script of the Vine Sovereign and Wan Changkong. The only thing that they missed was Ning Fan. Wan Changkong's eyes were as sharp as an eagle's. He locked his gaze on Ning Fan and licked his lips. Interesting. This is really interesting. A mere absolute void stage cultivator actually became the only unforeseen change in the bamboo massacre plan. What an interesting ant. He is obviously so weak but he dares to anger the Vine Sovereign and kill her beloved disciple. He is obviously so weak but he could escape from the 3 void fragmentation realm experts and even capture Ting Xianro. Everyone below the void fragmentation realm is just an ant. This young man is clearly just an ant at the absolute void realm. However, he managed to withstand a strike from his avatar and didn't get turned into a puppet. How interesting. Such an interesting junior must be toyed to death bit by bit. Only then would it be more interesting, right? One had to admit that Wan Changkong's way of thinking was extremely perverse. He believed that he had the strength to kill Ning Fan instantly. However, he insisted on toying with Ning Fan to death step by step. He controlled countless living puppets. He could have easily slaughtered Mu Yi, but he made the puppets kill each other with their friends and family. The Vine Hall was the demon, the Willow Hall was the devil, and the Bamboo Hall was the god. Due to some unforeseen events when he was young, Wan Changkong was betrayed by his closest relatives, and his personality was quite twisted. He hated the so-called righteous path. He hated sanctimonious mystic cultivators. He hated family, friendship, and love. He hated those ants who thought that hard work could change their fates. The number of people he had killed was not much lesser than Ning Fan. Moreover, the way he killed each time was extremely cruel. He did not have a strong Dao heart like Ning Fan. The reason why he killed people was not because of his obsession. Instead, he just killed them for fun. In his opinion, Ning Fan was just an ant. An ant would certainly die in the hands of an expert like him. This was the fate of an ant. A butterfly could not fly across the vast ocean. A mosquito could not shake a huge tree. A mantis could not stop a wheel of a carriage. An ant could never defeat a strong expert. In Wan Changkong's opinion, it was an extremely foolish action for Ning Fan to fight to the death despite knowing that he was no match for him. Therefore, he decided to torture Ning Fan to death step by step. Watching Ning Fan gradually give up hope and eventually despair would make him feel happy. Hee hee. Ancestral bamboo tree spirit, go and kill him. However, remember to kill him bit by bit. Don't be too fast. Otherwise, it would be boring. Wan Changkong moved the silver thread between his fingers and gave an order. The ancestral bamboo tree devil who was at the third heavenly layer of the void fragmentation realm suddenly took heavy steps and waved its tens of thousands of devil arms. All of a sudden, the vast sky around Ning Fan suddenly cracked, forming hundreds of thousands of huge void cracks. At the same time, huge meteors which were burning with green flames fell from each of the void cracks. Hundreds of thousands of meteors were falling at Ning Fan's head. That terrifying force was enough to easily kill all cultivators below the void fragmentation realm. You seem to be a little too ruthless. This young man will certainly die under this technique, Wan Changkong sneered, thinking that Ning Fan would certainly die under this attack of the tree spirit. However, just as his words fell, his eyes suddenly turned grim and his expression became extremely unpleasant. Hundreds of thousands of meteors fell one after another, burning all the trees in the bamboo world within a few million li. The sea of fire reached the sky. Huge pits were formed on the ground. The mountains and rivers were shattered and everything was devastated. Ning Fan was at the center of the attack but he did not die under it. The meteors fell from the sky. Ning Fan's eyes flashed with cold light. He did not know what Wan Changkong and the others were planning. However, if they want to kill him, he would definitely not wait for his death without putting up a fight. He did not need to know what his enemies were planning. All he needed to know was that they were his enemies. That was enough. Ning Fan suddenly shook his cauldron ring. A pink light flashed beside him and a lady in pink robes immediately walked out. Ning Fan immediately ordered. Row air, chop these meteors into pieces. Just as the lady in pink robes left the cauldron ring, she heard Ning Fan's order before she could quarrel with him. When she saw that the outside world was in the middle of a terrifying magic attack with meteors falling from the sky, the lady in pink robes felt her scalp go numb. Without saying a word, she immediately raised her purple vine sword and chopped 70 to 80% of the meteors in the sky. She was none other than Teng Xianro, who was teaching the female guards in the cauldron world. Wan Changkong was enraged when he saw Teng Xianro helping Ning Fan to fight against the tree devil. Teng Xianro. You are the palace lord of my purple vine palace. How dare you help an outsider to fight against me? Are you tired of living? How dare you go against me with just your void fragmentation realm cultivation base? You are simply courting death. Ting Xianro wanted to cry but no tears came out. She scanned the surroundings with her spirit sense and found out that not only the 3 broken tree devils were attacking them, but also one Changkong who was surrounded by killing intent. Liu Bei. How much trouble have you actually caused? One Changkong's void fragmentation realm cultivation base and a 3rd heavenly layer void fragmentation realm tree devil. There is also the chi of a void fragmentation realm cultivator and an unrivaled origin returning realm cultivator. Retreat. There are too many enemies. No matter how strong you are and with my help, you still won't be a match for them. They have one Changkong on their side. We can't afford to offend them. Ting Xianro said angrily. Any woman who was leisurely drinking tea in the cauldron world a moment ago would be summoned to fight against thousands of enemies in the next moment. She would not be in a good mood, even though she had pledged allegiance to Ning Fan and secretly guessed that he was a 3rd heavenly layer void fragmentation realm old monster. She did not think that Ning Fan could defeat so many strong enemies in front of her, one Changkong. Among the many strong enemies in front of her, the one that Ting Xianro was most afraid of was not the tree devil who was at the void fragmentation realm but one Changkong. She did not know where this place was. She did not know about the Vine Sovereign's plan to slaughter the bamboo. She did not know why Ning Fan would fight against one Changkong and the tree devil. What she did not know even more was how many of one Changkong's divine clones were here. This was what she was most concerned about. She had stayed in the Vine Palace for quite a long time. She knew very well how strong one Changkong was. She had personally witnessed how one Changkong could fight the Vine Sovereign without falling into a disadvantageous position when he used all 12 of his divine clones. When she saw that one Changkong was among the enemies and she had drawn away all of his hatred as soon as she appeared, Ting Xianro had a bad feeling. She just wanted to leave the battlefield as soon as possible. How could she have the slightest intention to fight? Run? Running away isn't the best plan. Ning Fan's brows were tightly knitted together. At this moment, he could hear the cries for help from the Fusang clan from time to time from the sound transmission jade in his storage pouch. The Fusang clan was in Jishui City. If not for the huge change in Jishui City, it would have been impossible for Tang Xiong and the others to send a voice transmission for help. The Fusang clan's voice transmission was only a few words, and it was impossible to describe the whole matter clearly. However, when he recalled the Vine Sovereign's actions of leaving the bamboo world in a hurry, Ning Fan was certain that something huge must have happened in the Eastern Tree Sea. In the outside world, an unprecedented calamity was descending in Jishui City. Escaping from the outside world would still be a hopeless situation. It would be better to exterminate all the enemies here before making further plans. Don't be afraid. You can block the 3 shattering Treant demon. I will kill one Changkong's divine avatar. Even though this person gives me an extremely dangerous feeling, there is only one divine clone. It's not impossible to kill him. Ning Fan shattered a few meteorites with a punch while comforting Ting Xianro. To Ting Xianro, Ning Fan's words were not meant to comfort her. As soon as she heard Ning Fan's words, Ting Xianro felt even more troubled. What? What kind of nonsense is he talking about? Asking her to destroy the 3 shattering Treant demon with a little lady who has no strength to even truss a chicken? Is he crazy? She did not dare to fight against one Changkong's divine avatar because she was afraid of his fierce reputation. Of course, she also did not dare to fight against the 3 shattering Treant demon. The difference between 1 shattering Treant demon and 3 shattering Treant demon was huge. Besides, she was not the kind of genius who could kill enemies who were at a higher level than her. Even though she was a void fragmentation realm old monster, her cultivation base was only at the 1st heavenly layer. In front of experts like Wan Changkong and the 3 shattering Treant demon, she was nothing. He asked her not to be afraid. How could she not be afraid? Don't worry. I will ask them to help you fight against the ancestral bamboo tree devil together. Jihua, purple lightning, Call wind, Qing shuang, landslide, appear. Ning Fan suddenly patted his storage pouch and took out 5 clay figurines. The 5 clay figurines grew in the wind and instantly turned into 5 10,000 zhang tall giants, which were red, purple, green, blue and yellow. These 5 10,000 zhang tall giants were all heavenly tribulation puppets with one shattering Treant demon cultivation base. Ting Xianro had already seen these puppets once when she personally helped Ning Fan capture them. Thus, she was not too surprised to see these 5 puppets again. However, Wan Changkong's eyes flashed with a hint of astonishment. Heavenly tribulation puppets. They are actually void fragmentation realm puppets. His astonishment instantly turned into greed. Even though he also had void fragmentation realm living puppets, there were no void fragmentation realm puppets among them. He could use the Morning Death secret technique to refine void fragmentation realm living puppets, but his puppetry technique was still not enough to refine real void fragmentation realm dead puppets. Wan Changkong did not think about how Ning Fan obtained these heavenly tribulation puppets. Currently, he only had one thought in his mind, to kill Ning Fan and take away his puppets. Morning Death technique, living puppet. He waved his hand and countless silver threads appeared out of thin air, flying towards the 5 heavenly tribulation puppets. His living puppet technique could not only refine living and dead people into living puppets but also easily take away other people's puppets. This technique was always successful. Wan Changkong's divine avatar had the cultivation base of the first heavenly layer. He was confident that he could directly subdue the 5 puppets. However, as soon as the silver threads pierced into the puppets, the black crescent moons on their bodies flashed at the same time. All of a sudden, all the silver threads that pierced into the puppets were burned into ashes by the black moon marks. That's... When Wan Changkong saw the flashing black moon marks, he felt fear from the bottom of his heart for the first time in his life. When he was young, he was once a puppet master with mediocre aptitude. If it wasn't because he accidentally swallowed a treasure and awakened the Morning Death devil veins by chance and obtained a few types of secret techniques of the Morning Death clan, he would certainly be mediocre for the rest of his life. He would never have the title of puppet sovereign today. In the inheritance of the Morning Death clan that he obtained, it mentioned how terrifying this black moon was. The ability of this black moon was the highest secret technique of the Morning Death clan. It was a secret technique that only the ancestral emperor of the Northern Heaven could use. The reason why the Morning Death clan was so powerful was because of their powerful secret techniques such as the living puppet technique. They could turn their enemies into puppets for their own use. However, no matter how powerful the puppet technique of the Morning Death clan was, they would still be suppressed by the ancestral emperor of the Northern Heaven. The ancestral emperor of the Northern Heaven had a technique that used the black moon as a seal to make all the puppets in the billions of worlds submit to him. No matter how powerful a puppet master is, he or she would only be defeated when facing the ancestral emperor of the Northern Heaven. In the inheritance that Wan Changkong obtained, there was a saying that had been passed down in the world. There is no solution to the Morning Death puppet technique in this world. If you encounter the black moon, you will be destroyed if you go against it. Wan Changkong did not know what kind of ability the black moon referred to. However, at this moment, when he saw the black moon above the 5 puppets, he could not muster up the courage to fight against Ning Fan at all. He felt that the great Tao of puppets that he had cultivated in his entire life was about to crumble under the black moon. His mournful death devil veins, his puppet blood, everything about him seemed to be buried under the black crescent moon. His divine clone was also refined according to the secret technique of the Morning Death clan. This divine clone nearly collapsed under the black moon. It was too dangerous. This black moon was too dangerous. To Wan Changkong, it was simply an existence that was like his nemesis. At this moment, Wan Changkong did not dare to fight against the 5 puppets recklessly. At this moment, even though Ning Fan was just an absolute void stage cultivator, Wan Changkong felt that Ning Fan was even more dangerous than a tree devil at the 3rd break realm. It was all because his greatest reliance in his life was his puppet technique. However, his puppet technique seemed to be worthless in front of the black moon. Wan Changkong suddenly patted his storage pouch and took out a golden jade slip. The jade slip recorded a sealing technique of the 6th heavenly layer of the void fragmentation realm. It was a life-saving item that the Vine Sovereign gave him in order to recruit him. A sealing technique of such a level could even seal experts at the Bamboo Sovereign's level for a long time. At this moment, Wan Changkong did not hesitate at all. He directly used this life-saving item and crushed the golden jade slip. Trap. At the moment the golden jade slip was crushed, a massive golden vortex suddenly appeared on the ground. Golden light shone brightly and spread to the area within 10 million li of the bamboo world. That vortex produced a strong suction force, sucking Ning Fan, the 5 puppets and Vine Xianrou into it. That suction force sealed all the cultivators within the bamboo world indiscriminately. Even the 3 broken tree devils were sucked into the vortex. Bai Li King, Zhu Hong and many other cultivators were also sucked into the vortex. In an instant, Wan Changkong was the only one in the entire bamboo world who was safe and sound. Since he was the one who cast the technique, he would not be sealed by the vortex. As for everyone who was sucked into the golden vortex, they were temporarily sealed inside the magic space. After sealing Ning Fan, Wan Changkong realized that his entire body was drenched in cold sweat. He was not afraid of Ning Fan. What he was most afraid of was the Black Crescent Moon divine ability. After sealing Ning Fan and the others, Wan Changkong looked at the empty bamboo world and gradually calmed his mind. That Black Moon divine ability gave me a feeling that it was too dangerous. Thus, I could only use this method to temporarily seal Liu Bei and the others. I'm afraid it will be dangerous if we face this young man head-on. It's definitely necessary to seal Liu Bei. Since I have the mournful death devil vein in my body, I'm afraid I'm naturally restrained by that black moon. However, the troublesome thing is that Bai Li King, Zhu Hong and the others are also sealed by me. They are the key figures in unsealing the ferocious beasts this time. Without them, it will be much more difficult to break the grand formation. Forget it. Fortunately, I still have a lot of living puppets with me. There are also some high-grade formation masters and pill refinement masters among them. Hopefully, I can unseal the ferocious beasts with their strength. While Liu Bei is being sealed, I will unseal the ferocious beasts in the bamboo world. Among the 4 ferocious beasts that are sealed in this place, the one with the lowest cultivation base is at the 3rd heavenly layer of the void fragmentation realm, while the one with the highest cultivation base is at the 5th heavenly layer of the void fragmentation realm. If I unseal the 4 ferocious beasts, no matter how terrifying Liu Bei's Black Moon divine ability is, I won't be afraid. At that time, I can borrow the strength of the 4 ferocious beasts to kill Liu Bei and avoid a confrontation with this young man. Other than the strange Black Moon technique, Liu Bei is not worth mentioning at all. Wan Changkong's traveling light flashed continuously and arrived at the Golden Bamboo Mountain. He patted his puppet pouch and released more than 50 Divine Transformation Realm and Void Refinement Realm living puppets. Among these living puppets, some of them were Formation Masters. As for the rest, there were 2 6th Revolution Pill Masters and 18 5th Revolution Pill Masters. I order all of you to break the grand formation of this place at all costs. If you can't do it, I have plenty of ways to make you wish you were dead. Wan Changkong threatened the group of living puppets. In the golden world, Ning Fan's eyes turned grim. He was actually trapped in this golden world. Beside him, there was the 3rd heavenly layer void fragmentation realm ancestral bamboo tree devil. Roar! After letting out a devil roar, the tree devil charged towards Ning Fan and the others as if it had gone mad. Chapter 596. It was a pure golden magical space. In this barren space, golden continents were floating in the air. Ning Fan, Teng Xianrou, and the heavenly tribulation puppets were sealed inside this world. The tree devil, Bai Li King and the others were also affected by the sealing technique and were sealed inside this space. Ning Fan and the others were standing on one of the countless floating continents. This place was filled with densely packed golden ancient vines. When Ning Fan walked onto this golden continent, the golden vines immediately wriggled strangely and tried to bind his feet. Incinerate. Ning Fan took a step forward and a black sea of flames extended from his feet, burning all the golden vines within 10,000 zhang into ashes. When he scanned this golden world with his spirit sense, his eyes turned grim. When he looked at the ancestral bamboo tree devil that was roaring furiously, his eyes became even more solemn. This pure golden world was a magical space formed by a sealing technique. It could seal all the cultivators who were sucked into the golden vortex inside this world. This sealing technique had the power of the sixth heavenly layer of the void fragmentation realm. Even an ordinary void fragmentation realm cultivator would find it hard to break this golden world and escape. Ning Fan's wind mist technique was enough to break this world, but it would take him at least a few hours to make a hole in this world. During these few hours, Ning Fan had to focus all his attention on using the wind mist technique. He could not split his attention to engage in combat. Inside this world, there were still powerful enemies like the tree devil waiting for him. They would not let Ning Fan break this world and escape. Roar! The ancestral bamboo tree devil's roar soared into the sky. It charged at Ning Fan and the others with killing intent. Ning Fan's eyes flashed with determination. He said to Ting Xianrou and the 5 puppets, "The 6 of you will stop the tree devil. I will deal with the others." Even though the 5 puppets only had the first heavenly layer of the void fragmentation realm, they belonged to the 5 elements. Each of them controlled the heavenly tribulation of one element. When they attacked together, they could even defeat a cultivator at the second heavenly layer of the void fragmentation realm. With the 5 puppets and Ting Xianrou, it was not difficult for the 6 of them to stop the tree devil for some time. Ting Xianrou gritted her teeth and decided to follow Ning Fan's order. In a flash, she and the 5 puppets worked together to stop the rampaging tree devil. As for Ning Fan, his figure flashed and disappeared from where he was. When he reappeared, he was already 10,000 zhang away from Bai Li King and Zhu Hong. At this moment, Ning Fan's mind was spinning rapidly. He had already figured out many things. With this flaw, Ning Fan could determine whether a cultivator was a life puppet refined by Wan Changkong based on whether they had primordial spirits or demon souls in their bodies. I once taught you the life imprisoning technique. I found this technique by chance. It's the strongest ability of the Mournful Death Clan's ancestral emperor of the Northern Heaven. Unfortunately, what I found is just an incomplete technique. If it's a complete technique, I can make all the life puppets of the Mournful Death Clan submit to me with just a glance. You haven't learned the complete technique. You can subdue spiritual puppets at the first step of Tao cultivation with this technique, but you can't subdue these life puppets. These life puppets still retain the consciousness of a living human, but their bodies are not under their control. Once they are refined into life puppets, they will lose the right to enter samsara forever. It's a sin for them to be alive. As long as they obey the order of the puppet lord, they must be killed even if they are their closest kin. If they die, they will turn into ashes. However, this is also a kind of release for them. Luo Yu spoke again. Release. Ning Fan recalled Bai Li King's strange actions and sighed softly. Bai Li King was Wan Changkong's life puppet. The reason why he sent people to assassinate Ning Fan time and time again was probably because he was ordered by the Vine Palace. Since he could not resist Wan Changkong, he had no choice but to send his people to assassinate Ning Fan. Even though he could not disobey Wan Changkong's order, he purposely sent his people who were not strong enough to die. This was just to free his people who had become life puppets. At the same time, it was also to remind Ning Fan to be careful of the Vine Palace. When Bai Li King sent the 4th battle invitation, he hoped to have a life and death battle with Ning Fan. What he wanted was not to kill Ning Fan but to be killed by him. He also reminded Ning Fan that there would be a great calamity today. The reason why Bai Li King reminded Ning Fan was not because he had any friendship with Ning Fan. It was just because Ning Fan was a great enemy of the Vine Palace that he had a good impression of Ning Fan and was looking forward to it. Bai Li King was looking forward to being killed by Ning Fan. He was looking forward to Ning Fan freeing him, even if his soul would be destroyed. Bai Li King was not willing to be a life puppet anymore and be manipulated by others. Die. Ling Zhu, Bai Li King, Sun Yu, and all the pill refinement masters except for Zhu Hong stared at Ning Fan coldly with killing intent in their eyes. Their expressions were filled with killing intent because they had received Wan Changkong's order to kill Ning Fan no matter what. However, their hearts were filled with pleading. They were begging Ning Fan to kill them and free them. Ning Fan seemed to be able to hear the deepest pleas of Bai Li King and the others. Kill me. Set me free. Kill Wan Changkong. Take revenge for us. Ning Fan's heart that had always been cold was touched at this moment. He could understand the sorrow of these people who had become life puppets. He could feel their endless resentment towards Wan Changkong. In the deepest part of his heart, there seemed to be something that was subtly changing. His principle of life was mostly selfish. However, at this moment, he had an urge to free these people who had become life puppets without asking for any price. That was the feeling of a fox grieving for the death of a rabbit. Today, all of you have become life puppets and yearn for freedom from death. I will set you free and cremate your corpses. In the future, if I die in a foreign land and my corpse is left to rot in the wilderness, I hope there will be someone who will bury my corpse for me and set me free from my sufferings. We don't have any friendship nor grudges. However, today, I will send you to your death with my sword. Ning Fan took a step forward and turned into his black robes. He raised his hand and grabbed at the golden continent and the vast sky. Then, he sucked in all the souls of the earth and the void and swallowed them. The shadow of a golden dragon coiled around his body and his sovereign chi was added to his body. His aura force rose all the way until it reached the unrivaled returning origin realm. Kill. At the moment when Ning Fan's aura force rose, Ling Zhu, Bai Li King, Sun Yu, and all the other cultivators who had become life puppets surrounded Ning Fan. Zhu Hong was the only one who did not dare to step forward. At this moment, Ning Fan gave him a feeling that he was unreachable. At this moment, Ning Fan did not care about good or evil, gratitude or grudges. All he cared about was samsara. Today, I will help all of you resolve your misfortune. In the future, there will be someone who will help me resolve my misfortune. This was the feeling of sending you to your death. It contained the meaning of samsara. Freeze. Ning Fan pointed his finger and displayed the heaven freezing technique. With his unrivaled origin returning realm cultivation base, the destructive power of this technique was boundless. Even Ling Zhu, who was at the first heavenly layer of the void fragmentation realm, was frozen in the sky for a moment. As for the unrivaled origin returning realm Bai Li King, he was frozen for half a breath's time. As for Sun Yu and the other divine transformation realm and void refinement realm pill refinement masters, their cultivation bases were much weaker than Ning Fan's. All of them were frozen in the sky and could not move at all. Sun Yu, you and I only have a simple friendship. Today, I will send you to your death to resolve your misfortune. Fellow pill refinement masters, I have never been friends with you. However, today, I will send you to your death. Chi. 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 Ning Fan suddenly clasped his hands together. At this moment, the gigantic black flame butterfly flapped its wings for the first time. As soon as the smoke dispersed, all the golden vines on the golden continent turned into ashes. Ling Zhu and Bai Li King's horsetail whisk and millstone were struck by the butterfly flame. They were sent flying backwards and their power was greatly reduced. As for Ling Zhu and Bai Li King, they were forced to retreat after being struck by the butterfly flame. Their injuries were not light. You're tuning in to the Blissful Bookshelf YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.